ضربان قلب من من تا تو رو نبینم ازت دست بر نمیدارم ای مهربون تر از پدر و مادرم دوست دارم من تا تو رو نبینم ازت دست بر نمیدارم ای مهربون تر از پدر و مادرم دوست دارم گوش به فرمانم فرمانده تپش تپش ضربانم فرمانده سرباز سید علی آمادن راستی نیومدی نگرانم فرمانده ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده ای فرمانده
Hi friends, hi Mary Alice.
آمادم آماده دیر شد مهدی بابای جوون من پیر شد مهدی
I know Mary Alice
دیر
isn't this
شد
great music, bro. Did you hear I'm in 182 countries now, Mary Alice?
فراگیر شد
Mary Alice is the press officer.
دیر شد مهدی ببین صدات میزنن از کجا
This is our uplifting song, Mary Alice.
بیا منم میخوام برات فداشم میخوام سید حسن تو باشم
Mary Alice is gonna be so confused, bro.
گوش به فرمانم فرمانده تپش تپش ضربانم فرمانده سرباز سید علی آمادن راستی نیومدی نگرانم فرمانده ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم
Mary Alice is gonna lose her mind. She's gonna be so freaked out that 180 countries are watching the Cannabis Control Commission. And she's probably like, what the? They're probably in the press room now, right now, like, bro, why is he playing Iranian celebration music? Mary Alice, you gotta keep up to date, bro. This is actually a very important regulatory meeting. I've been working on this story for 3 years. It has to do with corruption in state government and a very niche regulatory agency that I help stand up. I guess you can look at me if you want. Hello. Hi Mary Alice, how are you? Mary Alice the press officer. Sorry Mary Alice, you can't be in my cabin. Isn't this a great song though, bro? This is how we like spend most of the stream. Bro, I love this song. I'm gonna make the CCC press team love this song. We have to watch a regulatory hearing. You're gonna be very confused. I'll explain it. Yeah, hi Mary Alice. Mary Alice is the press officer. Where was my email for the press conference today, Neil? What's good, bro? I don't even know Neil, but he's nice. This is gonna be great. Oh, this is such a nice moment. Hello, friends. Hello, state government in Massachusetts. How are you all doing? This is our Iranian celebration song. How's everybody doing? My name's Grant Smith Ellis. We're doing special coverage today. Yes, Miss Clutch. I might take a break. It depends on if I can figure out how to get my cigars delivered without leaving the house. All right, we got to look at a few things. So first of all, let's go to the Boston Globe first. What was the one? They actually referenced me. It does a pretty good job. I liked Gordon's story. It was really good. So there's going to be this enforcement action today. A regulatory agency is an Article 1 corp under, I know, Boston Globe. I know I haven't paid you $4. I promise I'll pay you as soon as I can. The Boston Globe is one of the few papers I pay for. That and the New York Times. All right, so we got to learn about this. All right, now you might be saying to yourself, Grant, before you covered the war, did you do a bunch of things, including like reform state government and stand up a regulatory institution? Well, with the help of your friends, that brought in $9 billion in revenue. Yeah. We codified it at 935 CMR 500,000 and 935 CMR 500,001. The statutes in question are 94, not MGL 94G and MGL 94I, but you also got to read Chapter 180 of the Acts of 2022 if you want to understand the amendments. And also the legislature just passed on an emergency basis a bill to update this regulatory agency specifically because of the stuff, not just this, but a lot of stuff that happened. That woman right there, Shannon O'Brien, is the chair. You're going to hear her talk. She was the first woman elected to statewide office in Massachusetts. She was the treasurer in 2003. She got brought into the CCC as a change agent in like 2023. There was some like internal staff corruption that needed to be cleaned up, but it turns out Shannon O'Brien like wasn't willing to play ball, in my opinion, with like the powers that be, and she cleaned up a little bit too much, if you know what I'm saying. Now the CCC has 5 appointed commissioners, 1 appointed by the governor, 1 appointed by the treasurer, 1 appointed by the attorney general, and 2 commissioners appointed by all 3 of those constitutional officers by virtue of a majority vote. Now the treasurer alone has authority to designate the chair of the commission, which is one of the sitting commissioners, but doesn't have to be the person that the treasurer appointed. Okay, so Shannon O'Brien comes in as the chair and as Treasurer Goldberg's appointee. The treasurer of the state of Massachusetts is Treasurer Deborah Goldberg. I don't think she's going to get reelected. She has a really strong Republican challenger coming up, and I foresee that being the one constitutional office in Massachusetts that will go Republican. It's just hard to win the governorship. It really is, like in Massachusetts right now. And the Massachusetts is what's called a one-party state. So there's like 40 senators, like 36 of them, or 37 are Democrat. There's 160 or so representatives. 156 of them are Democrats, so it's called a supermajority. It means anything that the leadership is. Now, we have what's called a weak executive, so the strongest officials in the government are the Senate, or the Speaker of the House, because fiscal appropriations originate in the House, the Senate President, and then the governor, okay? And then there's other constitutional officers, the Attorney General, the Treasurer, the Auditor, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, now, what this is this is a regulatory agency that's independent, and it's very important that it's independent because it functions like akin to what like if you understand like Chevron deference and Skidmore respect in the context of administrative law, regulatory agencies are looked at by courts as like a semi-co-equal branch of government, which is true, but they have like delegated statutory authority that bounds their equitable, well, they don't really have equitable powers, but bounds their legal and by virtue of going to the courts equitable powers. It's very complicated, but like basically regulatory agencies do 2 things, okay? They have a bifurcated function. They write regulations, which are interpretations of statutes, okay? So like statutes are like general, regulations interpret statutes but are also law, and then there's things called sub-regulatory guidance documents where like the agency writes about what it was thinking when it made a specific regulation. All of those are like binding, but there's a hierarchy. Okay, now corollary, like running in parallel, is the judicial system, okay? It's like separate from this. Like courts are their own, like this article, there's 2 types of courts under the American Constitution. We're going to watch an Article 1 court. Article 1 courts are like regulatory bodies. They have a rulemaking function where they interpolate statutes into regulatory codifications, and then also they have a enforcement function, which is walled off from the rulemaking function, where they, and we're going to see the enforcement apparatus in force today, where the regulatory agency enforces, okay, through a specific division. Here it's called the Division of Investigations and Enforcement, and then Legal Counsel, and then there's a few other enforcement divisions, okay. that is walled off from the rulemaking like staff. There's hundreds of people that work for this agency. It brings in a lot of money. It's very important to the state. Okay, so the enforcement arm of the agency is kind of like a court. Like there are like administrative law judges. You can also do like the goal is to do a stipulated agreement where you like agree to an administrative sanction to avoid having to go through an ALJ process, which can also end up in Superior Court, and then eventually the Superior Court rules on the like license sanction issued by the ALJ, which then gets voted on by the commissioners. I know administrative law is extremely convoluted. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just helping you understand what you're going to watch. Okay, so in that context, okay, the enforcement body like recommends stipulated agreements. You're going to hear like 5 of them today. There's a lot of stuff. The biggest one is about something called greatest hits. Greatest hits. I'm going to read you a few stories. I'm going to read you a Boston Globe story that was published last week that like blew this whole thing open. I'm pretty sure it took a long time to write this story because I worked on this for like 3 years. Gordon Russell, who's one of the editors of the Spotlight team, wrote this. It's really, really good. Yeah, I'm actually referenced in it. Not just me. I'm called a journalist by the paper of record, and they reference my reporting about this specific thing that the government's going to talk about today. Anyway, so Shannon O'Brien, when she came in like 2023, tried to reform the agency. The staff, like her own staff, did a coup and tried to take her out with the help of the treasurer. It led to this convoluted process where like they fired Chair O'Brien. Well, first the treasurer suspended Chair O'Brien, and then Chair O'Brien, before the employment hearing could take place, filed a procedural due process challenge against the proposal because Treasurer Goldberg wanted to like have like a hearing where she was the judge basically to determine if she should fire Shannon O'Brien, which didn't really make a lot of sense because there was a lot of inside baseball with like Shannon O'Brien trying to clean up allies of Deb Goldberg doing bad things in the CCC, in particular then Executive Director Sean Collins, who now works as a consultant for the Norvis Group up on Beacon Hill, which is connected to former Commissioner Jen Flanagan, if I recall correctly. And also the company Ascend Wellness, one of the founders or something, Frank Perullo or something. And then also there is a number of sort of situations that arose, including serious allegations against high-ranking members of CCC staff that they were like verbally abusing like 4 different women in the agency, and then when the women tried to speak up, they would be retaliated against. There's actually one piece I should probably read you. It's very important because it was a first-person perspective, but I don't know if we have time. We have time to do the Globe piece, and then we have time to do like my initial reporting from 2023. The government moves slowly, especially when there's inside baseball. So in short, Shannon O'Brien there's 2 different types of due process challenges you can file against. This is special coverage, by the way, of the Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission. I've worked on this story for 3 years. We're going to do it. We're going to watch it, then I'm going to come back for war coverage later. If something shocking happens, I will take it as breaking news, but we have to watch this hearing. Okay, so Shannon O'Brien files a procedural due process challenge to the form. There's 2 types of due process under the 14th Amendment: procedural due process and substantive due process. Procedural due process is where you challenge like the form of the proposed type of hearing you're going to get in an administrative, or like what's called an administrative hearing, but it's really like you getting like fired. Okay. The second thing, and this is not war coverage, by the way. I've designated it as not war coverage. If there is breaking news, we will take it. The map is up. I'm monitoring. The second thing is substantive due process. So after Shannon O'Brien loses her procedural due process challenge to the proposed form of the hearing to determine whether she'll be fired in 2023, she's suspended from 2023 to 2024. Between that time, she goes through an administrative hearing. It's obviously a fait accompli. Goldberg fires her in 2024. O'Brien goes back to the Superior Court, I think under 30A, which is like a petition for a writ of certiorari for a review of an administrative action, but also under these cases called Levy 1 and Levy 2 that have to do with the independence of a state agency that's a regulatory body, because you can't just be firing commissioners because you don't like them. Judge Gordon, in a ruling from the bench on a motion for summary judgment, personally reinstated Shannon O'Brien as chair of the commission over the objections of Deb Goldberg, wrote a 50-page ruling calling me a journalist and vindicating Shannon O'Brien, and now she's just like on like a path to reform the commission. So also, during that, I was banned from the CCC press conferences. The agency wrote a formal press release smearing me and then banned me from the press conferences because I was getting a little too close to comfort. There was a lot of turnover. I reformed this agency. It was really Shannon O'Brien, but I like, she was gone for a little while, so I had to like kind of do it on my own as a journalist. The internal staff, like, they didn't like me. Now everybody's cool. Mary Alliston won't
The
look me in the eye,
whistleblower said
though.
this cannabis firm had an inside track. Soon, it's set to face discipline.
Alright, here's what we're going to talk
Shannon
about
O'Brien,
today.
Cannabis Control Commission chairwoman, spoke to the media in December 2023 after an appearance in Suffolk Superior Court. O'Brien was suspended, fired, and ultimately reinstated on the CCC after squabbling with the executive director.
That's right. Not squabbling. It
After
was
nearly
a
3 years,
political
the
fight.
Cannabis Control Commission is poised to take action on a whistleblower complaint that figured prominently in the ugly spat between the agency's former executive director, Sean Collins, and its chairperson, Shannon O'Brien. The whistleblower claimed in 2023 that his former employer, Greatest Hits, a cannabis retailer with shops in 3 towns, was running an illegal grow operation and using underage workers. More significantly, he has also alleged company leaders often bragged of close connections to Collins and claimed the then CCC director would shield their firm from regulators, allegations Collins strongly denies. The Commission's current director, Travis Ahern, said in an interview that Greatest Hits will face an enforcement action, which could range from an order to make minor fixes to the seizure of a license. He declined to comment further. Featured video. In a brief phone interview, Greatest Hits chief executive Joe Villatico said, "I don't respond to false allegations." He declined to answer specific questions. Collins declined an interview, but said by email that he did not provide any licensee or applicant preferential treatment, access, or protection during his tenure, which ended more than 2 years ago, and stressed that he did nothing to influence the investigation after leaving. "I had no actual conflict, no financial interest, and no particular matter involving Greatest Hits ever came before me for decision or action," Collins said. Still, the investigation serves as something of a sequel to a controversy that has dogged the Commission for years. In 2023, O'Brien, the chair, was accused of bullying and racist behavior toward fellow commissioners and staff, including Collins. State Treasurer Deborah Goldberg, who appointed O'Brien to the position, first suspended her and then fired her the following year. Advertisement. Before working at the Commission, Collins was an aide to Goldberg.
That's right.
At the time, the Commission had long struggled to fulfill its mission amid high turnover, personnel scandals, and allegations of slow-walking new regulations. Last year, the state auditor dinged the
Love the
CCC
auditor.
for, among other things, allowing investigations to languish, and the year before, the state's Inspector General issued a
Love
scathing
the
letter
OIG.
recommending the rudderless agency be put into receivership.
That's all right.
The ongoing drama took yet another turn when O'Brien sued over her termination and won, returning to the agency in September at the order of a state judge who derided Goldberg's case against O'Brien as a house of cards.
That was thin of gruel.
Now, some
Thin
of the
as
same
gruel.
players from that earlier tussle are again involved in an internecine fight.
Love it.
O'Brien, presiding once again as chair, will have a say on any punishment the Commission staff recommends. Collins, meanwhile, left the Commission in late 2023 and started a lobbying and consulting firm months later, with the former lawyer for Greatest Hits, Nick Adamopoulos,
That's
who had
also
sought to
right.
undermine O'Brien's position at the Commission when the whistleblower complaint was first
That's
filed.
true.
The whistleblower, Matt Duncombe, said in an interview that his
Hi,
former
Matt.
bosses at Greatest Hits routinely mentioned their ties to Collins. With the chief executive boasting of walking his dog with the cannabis regulator and the company's lawyer telling employees that Sean, who became his business partner soon after leaving the CCC, had their backs. Duncombe said he was fired as the company's marketing manager after filing an internal complaint about his boss and decided to report Greatest Hits' unlicensed growing operation to the CCC. With no response to multiple messages to the CCC, Duncombe said he finally contacted Collins directly via Facebook. He also pinged all 5 commissioners. Advertisement. After that, he heard from agency investigators, but the team looking into his complaints was soon replaced, and Duncombe felt the CCC wasn't taking the matter seriously. "I wasn't getting anywhere, the investigation wasn't doing anything, and they were clearly stonewalling," he told the Globe. In June 2023, O'Brien notified Collins about a post by a journalist on Patreon that alluded to his friendship with officials at Greatest Hits record show. 1 month later, Adamopoulos, the Greatest Hits lawyer, requested records from the CCC about any HR complaints against O'Brien, plus copies of her correspondence with various people, including Duncombe and the journalist who covered his complaint. The following year, a few months after Collins resigned, Adamopoulos and Collins founded their lobbying firm. O'Brien, who declined to comment for this story, testified in her wrongful termination case that Collins should have recused himself from the Greatest Hits investigation but didn't. Collins, for his part, doesn't deny he was close to Adamopoulos. Records show he lives a few doors down from Villatico, on the shores of Webster Lake in south-central Massachusetts. Adamopoulos did not return messages from the Globe. Ethics experts who reviewed the matter at the Globe's request said that under Massachusetts law, Collins would not have been required to recuse himself from the Greatest Hits case simply because he was friendly with some of the company's principals. But they noted he could have proactively disclosed the relationship and even recused himself to avoid any appearance of a conflict, given that the whistleblower claimed Collins was putting his thumb on the scale. Other Commission staffers also had concerns about Collins' relationship to Greatest Hits. The CCC's communications director and Collins traded testy emails on July 11, 2023, that revealed some staffers tried to keep him from the probe into the company because they believed he had a conflict.
Wow.
Advertisement. The exchange makes clear Collins saw things differently. I was quite surprised, and pretty angry, to learn that staff had unilaterally decided to recuse me, he wrote, adding that it is up to an individual to decide whether they need to be recused. The same day those emails were exchanged, CCC investigators made their first site visit to Greatest Hits. Sometime before December 2023, when he left the CCC, Collins told the Globe he decided to recuse himself from the Greatest Hits probe. Collins said the recusal would be reflected in a note in the administrative record, but he could not provide a record of it.
Huh.
The CCC said if such a record existed, it would not be made public until the Greatest Hits matter was settled.
Oh, Gordon's going to want that
Collins
today.
also pointed to a letter he received from the State Ethics Commission dated October 31, 2023, about 7 months after the investigation was opened. It said the Commission had looked into your allegedly having a close personal relationship with a lawyer who had dealings with the CCC and determined no further action from the ethics panel was required. Collins's departure came a few months after O'Brien announced at a public meeting that he'd be taking leave and then stepping down. Collins complained O'Brien had broken news he wasn't ready to share. Within weeks, Goldberg suspended O'Brien for a year, accusing her of racism, bullying, and shabby treatment of Collins. Still, the Treasurer said in a statement to the Globe that her defense of her former aide did not stem from a close personal relationship with him. I have not seen Sean or had a professional conversation with him in nearly a decade, she said in a statement. Advertisement. A pre-hearing conference with Greatest Hits was set for late March. Any proposed settlement that comes out of such a discussion would have to be approved by the Commission.
That's today.
Duncombe, for one, isn't expecting the hammer to come down hard. In fact, he believes the company will be more saleable if it can resolve the open complaint. Whatever the hell the CCC is going to do, I've got a sense that this is a favor to these guys more than anything, he said. I think they're gonna just kind of close out this whole thing so that these guys can sell the company.
All right, and then this was my story. This was 3 years ago almost. It took 3 years.
Breaking news. The CCC has confirmed an active inquiry into Massachusetts operator Greatest Hits. Further, sources indicate the CCC is aware of allegations that an owner of Greatest Hits, Red Jordan, used company assets to run an unlicensed grow operation in Webster that served as a source for untested samples provided to company staff and the public. Grant Smith Ellis. By Grant Smith Ellis. June 20th, 23. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Boston, Massachusetts, Greatest Hits Cannabis, a Massachusetts retailer with locations in Dudley and Taunton, is under CCC investigation. It can be revealed for the first time publicly here. That inquiry relates, allegedly sources tell me, to complaints that company funds were used to run an unlicensed cultivation operation. Products from that operation were then given to members of the public and internal company staff, 4 sources close to the agency allege. Those sources also tell me that the CCC is aware of the allegations and that, strangely, CCC Executive Director Sean Collins has some connection to company lawyer Nicholas Adamopoulos. Furthermore, sources tell me the CCC is aware of allegations that Red Jordan, an owner and co-founder of Greatest Hits, used company resources to run that unlicensed cultivation operation out of a rental house located in Webster. The CCC, for its part, said in a statement via a spokesperson tonight that the Commission received a complaint regarding this licensee and there is now a pending inquiry. The agency has no further comment at this time. The Commission also confirmed that Collins does not live next to Adamopoulos and that inspections for Tree Market Taunton D.B. A Greatest Hits were scheduled and occurred according to the normal course per the Commission's licensing process. A follow-up question to the agency, seeking clarification on the nature of the relationship between Collins and Adamopoulos, was sent and an update will be provided if one is forthcoming. Representatives for Greatest Hits did not return a request for comment directed to the firm's headquarters. Unlicensed cultivation facility and untested products provided to members of the public and company staff spark concerns. Per sources close to the agency, the CCC is actively investigating allegations that Greatest Hits co-founder and owner Red Jordan used company funds to rent a house in Webster that was used to facilitate an unlicensed cultivation operation. It is also alleged that the grow equipment used in the operation and the staff hired to oversee the operation were paid for with company funds, sources familiar with the investigation say. The rental property, located on an idyllic cove shoreline just a few miles from the Massachusetts-Connecticut border, was rented by Greatest Hits for Mr. Jordan while he was visiting Massachusetts. As Mr. Jordan has since moved out of the property, the address can be revealed as 28 Black Point Road in Webster. According to an active social media profile, Jordan is the founder of Native Roots and Garden Variety brands of vertically integrated cannabis companies in Colorado and Canada. This may explain why the company owner was traveling in and out of Massachusetts on a regular basis. CCC investigators, sources tell me, are also looking into allegations that Jordan hired a staff member to work for Greatest Hits as a registered agent in the CCC system, only to then have that staff attending to the plants in the unlicensed cultivation operation as part of their job duties. The Greatest Hits parent company, for its part, appears to have ties to a Nevada investor named Stephen Conte. Mr. Conte, according to public internet records unearthed by this reporter in February of 2023, played a role in setting up DMA Holdings, LLC, which would go on to become the parent company of Greatest Hits Cannabis. What knowledge, if any, the company's investors had of the unlicensed grow operation is as of yet unclear. It is also unclear whether company investors knew about allegations that untested cannabis flower produced at that facility was being given out to members of the public and internal staff for the purposes of conducting research and generating goodwill. Untested cannabis can pose an extreme risk to consumers due to the potential for mold, bud rot, and other contaminants to infect plants during the cultivation process, in particular in New England. Such public health concerns are also compounded by the safety issues presented by having large quantities of cannabis, up to 200 or 300 1-gram joints at a time, were stored in an unsecured office drawer, per sources, freely accessibly. Many of the CCC's stringent oversight requirements are designed to ward off just such safety issues. In fact, CCC Executive Director Sean Collins has connection to company lawyer Nicholas Adamopoulos, say sources. Further amplifying concern within the CCC, sources tell me, is the fact that Agency Executive Director Sean Collins has a connection to Greatest Hits attorney Nicholas C. Adamopoulos. If Collins' alleged relationship to the company will have any impact as to the agency's ability to look into the firm, and in particular allegations that untested products were given to staff and members of the public after being grown without a license in a rental house paid for with company funds, is unclear. All parties presumed innocent. This is a breaking story and will be updated.
Oh, it was certainly updated. Let's go to the meeting. Today's meeting is about that. I worked for 3 years on this story. I'm very proud of the people involved it literally required reforming an entire agency of state government to make this happen. So you're going to see the result of that. It's going to take me a second to load it because it buffered out of the cache. Microsoft Teams is a very weird platform. That's why people like to watch the meetings here. Don't worry, they're not going to get right. There's 5 enforcement
My perspective
actions, and we're going to listen to the first 40 minutes at double speed. They'll sound like chipmunks. It's really fun. All right, let's
discussion and vote section today. Clarification on tier relegations. That will be, I believe, a vote. Approval of Executive Director Performance Review Form. Update on testing protocols Package 1. Discussion on pending enforcement processes, including but not limited to Mass Biolytics, Assured, Stipulated Agreement, Greatest Hits Enforcement Action, MCR Labs Enforcement, and Boston Bud Factory. Publication of approved receivers discussion.
There's a lot of
Product
enforcement
catalog program
actions,
data
but the
update, discussion of
Greatest
marijuana
Hits
research
one is the
facility
most
license
important.
type and research permits, including intellectual property considerations, and the establishment of an expendable trust for cannabis research, which we will take a vote. I will ask the commissioners wishing to comment or ask questions during any part of the meeting raise their hand to be recognized. And with that,
More
and those
funds
initial
for
comments, I'll turn
research
things
is
over to
always
commissioners
good.
for any comments and or updates. And I will start to my left with Commissioner Benedon.
Just updates.
Thank
before
you,
we
Madam
start.
Chair. Well, this has certainly been an eventful week for the Commission, and it's only
I would
Tuesday.
say so.
By now, we are all aware of the bill that was released yesterday from Conference Committee. I'm sure this
Yes.
is the only time it'll be mentioned today. But if adopted by the House and Senate and signed by the Governor, there's no question that change will come to the Commission. I want to just take a moment to acknowledge the uncertainty that this no doubt brings for staff, notwithstanding the clear intent in the bill to maintain our dedicated and talented team that I really have had the pleasure of working with these last several months.
This is a regulatory meeting. That's the result of 3 years of my reporting. And the agency is being changed. The treasurer is being stripped of her power to appoint people to this board. And the government, the state legislature, is moving forward with a bill specifically because of a lot of stuff that happened. Now, I hope the state legislature keeps Shannon O'Brien. She's really good. And Commissioner Roy. I like Commissioner Benedon too. I think she's there as a minder though, just to make sure the transition is fine. But my point is Commissioner Stebbins is okay, but he didn't make the right calls when the chips were down. So my opinion, keep Commissioner Roy, keep Chair O'Brien, and Commissioner Benedon can stay. She learned a lot in a short amount of time. I think she's cool. All right, next, let's go.
Change can be scary and it can be a lot of work, but it also is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to reset, to think differently.
So I don't know a lot about Georgia. Jamest, welcome to the channel. I don't know a lot about Georgia. I'll look into it. What I will tell you is federally we're moving towards descheduling, and if I get elected, I'd like to be president, then I will allow you to access medical and adult use in Georgia within 90 days of taking office.
Differently, to lead differently, to clarify priorities, to find efficiencies, and to serve the public in new and better ways. I can say with certainty that in my time on the Commission, I'm really proud of what our team has accomplished, and it's a lot. Social consumption, delivery exclusivity, new opportunities for social equity participants, significant enhancements to transparency through features on our website, more data available at Metric, easier access to the COAs, and so much more. I'm not going to list everything, but I just want to say that I'm excited for what the next chapter brings, regardless of whether I'm part of it or who else is part of it, and I will stop there.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Benedon. Commissioner Stebbins.
Thank you, Chair. I'll couple of things to go through. First, I had the opportunity to visit two of our licensees in Salem last week. I want to thank the owners of Witch City Gardens, doing business in Starboard. They are a dispensary and also a new turbine cultivator. Great discussion, certainly shared information, share as we always do about the Equity Works platform with everybody. Also spent some time with the team at Atlantic Medicinal Partners in Salem. Great to connect with Jeff and his team. They also have operations up in Fitchburg and in Brockton. Following day, took the opportunity to travel up to Athol to meet the team at Hometown Harvest, which I understand just received their commitments ops this week. We discussed their recent experience with the licensing process, RDT, and accounts receivable. Later met up with the town manager, Sean Sahosky, who has been a tremendous leader with the MMA, to discuss the impact of the cannabis licensees that they have operating in Athol. Following those meetings, I went down to Barrie to meet with the family that owns Highhawk Farms. They have both an outdoor grow and a dispensary in Rutland. Good questions and discussion around positive impact plans, RDT, and badging, among other topics. This Friday, the Social Consumption RDT Working Group will be hosting a 2-hour brainstorming session with our outside stakeholders and internal team with the goal of hearing their thoughts and input on the training components. Again, I want to thank Mass Chiefs, the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, Mass Restaurant Association, Mass Municipal Police Training Committee, Mass DPH, Chief Carmichael, Coalition for Local Public Health, our Municipal Emergency Response Personnel, and our local DPH representative from Chelsea. Additionally, Commissioner Benedon and I have connected with the Chief of Staff and the EPCO team to follow up on the use of census tracts as well as residency requirements for the SEP program. We're going to bring back some recommendations to the full commission. Commissioner Benedon, the Chief of Staff, and I are also following up on the petition that has currently been submitted to the Commission with respect to drive-through or drive-up retail sales. We had a call yesterday with the ABCC. Yesterday gained their historical and regulatory perspective on the topic. Some good insights from their chief. We'll reconvene as an internal working group and strive to bring the matter back to the full commission. Certainly have been kind of working virtually with Commissioner Roy on the issue of license renewals. So I've appreciated the opportunity to go back and forth on some points the document she created. Lastly, I know we're reviewing the new process for reviewing the evaluating the ED's performance. I want to thank you, Chair, for your work on this process. Just so we can focus on the proposal being discussed today, I just want to offer some clarifications about the development of the ED process we had previously used. As I expressed, I had raised concerns early on about the executive session in the previous process as the CCC was ramping up. Using the model we had used at the Gaming Commission, I had the opportunity to work with our COO and our HR director at the time to create that new process and look forward to making some changes to it. I do want to clarify that RED at the time was on board with that new approach and shared his concern about the use of executive session. He certainly was not reluctant to participate in the process we created, but looking forward to discussing the changes to our existing process. And I'll also just appreciate the words of Commissioner Benedon with respect to the news that we got yesterday. And also want to thank our incredible team for the great work that they did. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Roy.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good morning to my colleagues and staff and everybody listening. And I want to thank Commissioner Benedon for her comments. I have similar sentiments. There are a lot of things in the bill I think that the industry is applauding, and I know purchase limits from going from 1 ounce to 2 ounces, being able to advertise with loyalty programs and coupons and discounts. I was happy to see also a dedicated line for folks to be able to report complaints if they see any illegal behavior or anything around worker safety. And there will be anonymity protections that it won't be subject to a public records request, which I think is an amazing step for the industry. So I applaud that. It's incredible. I also want to thank the staff for their support. Like Commissioner Benedon said, we don't know what the future holds, but I really proud of the work I've been able to do. Lead commissioner on host community agreement reform, testing, championing new secret shopper regulations, new product catalog, open data, red tape removal, working on biennial renewals, and we have an important vote next time on a licensing freeze, which the Boston Globe and the BBJ and many folks in the industry think is long overdue. Also proud to have worked on micro.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. Listen. Anyone who's right, Commissioner Roy, please listen to me. Do not vote in favor of that. I'm petitioning my government right now. Listen to me. All of the economic interests think that's a good idea because customers are paying like $80 for an ounce. Please do not vote in favor of that. They want to make me pay more per ounce by restricting the supply. Please don't vote in favor of it. Please. I just need to peel off like 3 of them. Please don't vote in favor of that. I'm begging you. If you think the work I have done related to this commission is valuable, you 5 commissioners, you 4 commissioners, please. Actually, I only need to peel off 2 of them. Listen, Commissioner Roy, Commissioner O'Brien, Chair O'Brien, I ask you as a personal petition, I am petitioning my government, vote no. Vote no. It's not a good idea. They want to make me pay more. I know exactly how they think. I'm in there all the time. please, they're upset that I'm only paying $80. They don't like it. It's very helpful for patients if you allow there to be the persistent threat of more cultivation licenses. They want to centralize market control. That's why I read the Adam Smith statement to you. You got to read the Wealth of Nations section about the price of wheat in 1791. It's odious. It's insidious. Of course John Henry wants it, Commissioner. Of course he does. He owns the property that New Dia is on. Please, I implore you. Of course the BBJ wants it. Please, they have advertisers. I implore you, vote no. I just need 2 of them to vote no. Commissioner Benedon, if you want to vote no, that would be really good. As the subject matter expert on this, I'm begging you, vote no. Please, when you watch this replay, vote no. When someone's probably texting you now, like Grant's watching what you said, Commissioner, please vote no. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to vote no. Please, don't do it. It's all the obfuscation, all the corporate legalese, all the language is just designed to make me and other people like me have to pay more. Market consolidation only helps the manufacturers who already have consolidated market interests and a plan to raise prices, just like what Amazon did, just like what Uber did. Saturate the market in the hope that you can use regulatory capture to pull up the ladder and then raise prices once everything's settled. Don't let them do it. Vote no. On your conscience, commissioners and Madam Chair, vote no. Vote no for America. Vote no for Towel. Vote no for the commission. Vote no for these past 5 years. Vote no. I beg of you. Vote no. I know, Commissioner. I know, Commissioner Roy. I know. I understand. It was a lot of corporate tomfoolery. I implore you, vote no. If my work has meant anything to you, but please do not do this. It will undo a lot of what has been done over the past few years. Please vote no. Please vote no. I just need 2 of them to vote no, because they only can pass it with a majority. Please vote no. I'm begging you. I have to do a personal appeal to them. I've never done this before. Vote no. I can send them an email if I really need to, but I don't really want to. Vote no. I know they watch this anyway. Vote no. Vote no on restricting the issuance of new cultivation licenses for America, for Towel, for the great citizens of Massachusetts, for all the work that's been done these past 5 years on everything I consider holy. I implore you, vote no.
For businesses, making that a viable license type with Commissioner Stebbins. So, many things that, there's a lot to be proud of here. And, I always give it my all and I'll continue to give it my all. And we don't know what the future holds, but I just want to thank my colleagues on the board, the executive director. And
yeah, Holy Son, I worked very hard to get that price down. Vote no, and I can keep it down. I can win 2. I can peel 2 of them off. I only need 2 no votes.
Staff who've, always given me their support and
Iran!
So thank you so much. Thank you.
Damn it,
And,
Iran!
I want to echo the comments of Commissioners Benedon.
Iran is fired.
For acknowledging just how much work has actually happened.
I don't know where
the
it's
last 6 months,
coming.
And looking forward to actually before
It's still
this
loading.
legislation becomes law, making sure
What?
that actually the TIPS line is something that's really important. So I
Iran
want to thank the staff
fired
for all
at
the work towards moving that forward,
the
making that a
Syrian
reality,
border?
hopefully within the next month or 2. Also,
That
I
can't
think
be
reminds
right.
us of the tragic passing
Okay.
of Lorena
Lorna.
McMurray,
Yes.
McMurray, and that is what we heard
God
from
bless
one of
her.
the folks who work in the industry, and really hoping that we can maintain. We've gotten so much done over the course of the last 6 months, working all together, working diligently with our staff, working collaboratively as commissioners.
How are we gonna
my
do
biggest
both of these
hope
things at
is that
once?
The pace of change that we have established over the course of the last 6 months can continue, and we don't lose any momentum going into the summer, because there are many things in front of us right now. We need to
How are we going to
take
do
on
both of
the
this at
difficult
once?
issue of testing fraud, which we know is a real problem.
is gonna
We
be
need to make sure that we are
impossible.
protecting the honest businesses from those who would perpetrate the fraud. I want to thank Commissioner Roy for joining me in a meeting
She's great.
with the staff from the Attorney General's office, because one of the things that we'll be looking at right now, and hope that the Attorney General will join us in, is looking at whether or not, when there are fraudulent certificates of analysis that are approved by testing labs, basically they're committing fraud on consumers. So we look forward in the next several weeks towards working with the Attorney General's office to figure out how that might actually become a Chapter 93A violation, because then that will have real teeth. So we appreciated the time that the Attorney General's office took to meet with us. We appreciate it, and we are going to have some additional meetings in the very near future. I also want to acknowledge some of the work that has happened over the course of just the last week or so.
Launch at Tel
Today we're gonna be
Aviv.
voting on
Launch at Tel
establishing
Aviv.
expendable trust. And again,
Oh,
I point out
no.
the hard work that our CFA
Oh,
Schlegel did
goodness.
towards
I
figuring
was
out
not
solutions.
ready
Because
for
our
this. I
chief
wasn't
research
ready
team
to cover the
working
war.
really hard, and is really the leader.
Oh, come on, Iran. Don't you want to learn about
create
cannabis?
independent
Elon's
research
probably like,
center.
we hate cannabis.
Over the years,
You need some more of that in your life,
Is currently
IRGC.
working with
Damn
a number of people, at
Iranians.
Mass General and McLean Hospital to work some of the problems that we're
I
finding.
don't have
with
time.
youth.
I don't have time right now, Commission. Okay, Chair, you have a great time. Oh, I can't cut the chair off.
When we hopefully pass that
That's
today,
illegal.
is that we will be able to take those funds
Iranians,
not
I
to
can't
money
be cutting Madam
It's going
Chair
to go
off. What are you
directly
doing?
fund
That's very
research. I also want
disrespectful.
to thank,
Oh,
the
no,
Secretary
you
of
damn
Economic Affairs,
Iranians.
Haley, and English
You have
Secretary
5
Vega.
minutes.
For
I'm
meeting
just trying to
Dr.
cover
Johnson,
the thing. The
we're trying
damn
to figure out how we can
Iranians
put together a
make me
3-year
all
plan
mad.
for the
Iranians!
industry in Pennsylvania.
I have
Basically,
regulatory
the
things
funding
to cover.
for research, either to
Damn
fund therapies,
Iranians.
to look at the negative and the positive impact of cannabis, but there are private parties willing to invest in research. We know that
I'm going to
John
do
and her
both.
team
I can do
continue
it.
to win those important grants.
Damn
but also
Iranians.
can
What are
get
you
matching funds
doing, you
from the
damn
state. And that was
Iranians?
a robust conversation
Making
with
me all
Secretary
mad.
Haley, because that door has been left open, and we look forward to getting
Iranians.
that I'm talking about. How do we maintain that
Damn
momentum that not only
Iranians.
will keep the public safe, make sure that the public is
Oh,
getting
God
fair
bless you,
product,
Holy
but
Son.
also
It
making
is going
sure
to be
that
a long day. I got to
Massachusetts
find out a
can
way to get my
remain and become
cigars. I
an
might
even
go for a
greater
walk.
hub in the biotech economy. I also want
God-
to specifically thank
God bless
the Senate
you,
Ways and
Holy
Means Committee
Son.
for including, again, it's just on the Senate side,
You
the supplemental
are
appropriation,
wonderful,
$1 million
and
in much needed
I
funds.
am
Commissioner
grateful.
Roy has been a champion on making sure, and Dr. Johnson, and making sure that we have
We love
those
Dr.
dollars
Johnson.
to promote public
Hashtag
safety by
Dr.
doing
Johnson.
public education efforts. We have not had that funded, even though that is a mandate. So we
Tao
truly
loves
thank
Dr.
the Senate Ways and
Johnson.
Means Committee for putting that language into supplemental appropriation.
Eat on his lunch. Damn Iranians.
Senate Ways and Means
Making me all mad.
members who are very interested in
Iranians.
also helping us gain funding in the
Tel
public
Aviv,
that
Tel
that
Aviv.
process is going through, because it's established-
Well, those of you who
It's
decided to
testing
learn
lives.
about
So not
regulatory
necessarily building
agencies,
labs
you
from
can get
scratch,
war
but
coverage
I
now.
thank Executive
Damn
Director for
Iranians!
the work that they've been doing to figure out how we might be able to do
Red
this,
alerts.
to spend our dollars
Incoming.
smarter so that we can
Incoming.
protect public health safety,
Incoming.
and we can protect
Oh
consumers.
no, there's going to be an air raid.
Obviously, this is
Oh,
a week.
Madam
It's a
Chair,
very
I'm so
exciting time.
sorry.
We have so much that we're getting
I'm so
together.
sorry. The
We're
people of
that
Israel are under
amendment.
attack,
So
Madam
now,
Chair. I hope you will
we
find
want
it in
to,
your hearts to forgive me.
the heart of the
Oh no.
meeting.
Oh no.
For
This is not
approval.
good.
So the next agenda
Air
item is
raid.
Senate
Oh
Bill
no.
16,
Air raid.
16,
Air raid. Air raid.
Commissioner
Air
Wood,
raid.
we will
Oh
ask
no.
to
This is
approve
why we can't be having government meetings during the war. Air raid. Damn Iranians. I'm trying to cover the war, you damn Iranians. All right, I have to pause this. All right, pause. It's too much data. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, you damn Iranians. Damn Iranians. Oh, damn Iranians. Oh, this is not good. Damn Iranians. Air raid.
Hearing none, we'll take the call. Commissioner Benedict.
Air raid.
Commissioner Stephens.
Air raid. I don't have time for this. I don't have time. We have to turn this off. No. Air raid. Air raid. I would love to listen to the Cannabis Control Commission, but I don't have time. Air raid. You have, like, no time. It's there already. They're about to arrive. Oh no, I had to pause the meeting. The damn Iranians. Damn Iranians. No, we don't need that much cam. Damn Iranians. Okay. Couldn't even watch my meeting because of the damn Iranians. This is not good. This is very bad. On a scale of 1 to bad, this is very, very bad. Oh no. Oh no. What are we going to be all... But I just wanted to cover the CCC. I just want to watch my regulatory meeting. It's very important. Oh no. This is very bad. I just wanted to watch my regulatory meeting, you damn Iranians. I need the war update. The meeting can wait. God, I know, job for 9, but it's like 3 years of work. Oh, and the whole thing, it's like oh, goodness. It's a very, very important thing. Okay, fine, we'll change the title. Fine. Special coverage. Iran, special coverage. U.S. Iran war morning brief. plus. Okay, fine. Fine. Making me all mad. Damn Iranians. There's no, what's going on here right now? I have no idea what is going on. I am very confused. There was no war update. There was an attack about 8 hours ago in Tel Aviv. What is going on right now? I have no idea what is happening. This is very bad. What is happening? Where are they firing? Jerusalem? Oh, dude, what have they done? Alright, somebody did something bad. What has happened? I am so confused. What have you all done? What have you all done? Somebody's done something very bad. I am so confused. Just want to cover the government? I have no idea what's going on right now. More incoming. Listen, something's happening. What is happening? What are you all doing? Oh, dear God. But I really wanted to watch the government meeting. What is going on right now? What is happening right now? So we must have done something really bad. I know we did. We bombed the railways. Oh no. Oh, God bless you, Job for 9. All right. Listen, to all of the wonderful people who are supporting me, we will switch to war coverage. Listen, CCC, Madam Chair, Commissioner Roy, I love you all dearly. We will listen. There's a bunch of people who really need that update. They're going to have to go over to the Microsoft Teams. Oh, come on. What is going on here? Listen, America bombed the railway bridges in Iran. I was hoping like there was going to be some negotiation, like things would just calm down. God bless you, Job for 9. God bless you, Job for 9. You are my personal inspiration. You are wonderful. All right, listen to me. All I wanted to do was cover the government here, and we can't do that because Iran has bombed Tel Aviv like 6 times. I don't even know what they just did to Tel Aviv, but like, and Jerusalem, I don't even know. There's so many alerts and they haven't cleared. I have no idea what has happened or why everybody's, well, I know why everybody's so mad. It's because of the damn bombing of the railway bridges. You can't just be bombing railway bridges. It's going to make them all mad. They got very, very mad. Okay, I'll show you tradings. If you're wondering, Grant, what is going on? Why aren't we watching the CCC? Listen, you have to go over to the teams. Listen, I have to balance my obligations. We can watch the greatest hits enforcement action during lunch when I go get my cigars, okay? We can do that then. I can't, well, listen, I need to be realistic with you. Like, Ferrone or someone really has to do this. I feel like when Roger McGuinn got the, like when they wanted Bob Dylan to do the theme song for Easy Rider, Dylan was like, give it to Roger McGuinn of the Byrds, bro, Ferrone's got to do it. Or like Danny, give it to Danny Carson. Danny is plenty capable of doing this. I should have taught Danny how to do the live stream and stuff before today, but just go to Danny Carson. Danny is all you need to follow. Danny can do this. Danny, if you're listening, I need your help today. I can't cover all this at once. This is very important. It's a very intense day, and there's 180 countries that depend on me, and I love the CCC, and I have a duty to a lot of people, but I have to weigh what I'm able to cover. So we will do the greatest hits investigation, enforcement action during lunch. All right, I will play the thing, but I have to balance my duty. Now the other thing is I have another stream scheduled for 2:30. I can't just start at whatever time this started at and then go the whole day. If I do that, we'll run up to the 12-hour thing too early. So my plan is we're going to do a morning stream, okay? We'll do this till lunch. Then I need to go get lunch. I don't have the car. I got the car returned, thank God. I don't have my new car. I'm just going to use Ubers for the next day or two. I don't have time to think about all of the practical things of being alive. I just will get food to my person. I'll walk to get it if I have to. It's only a few blocks. I don't care. And then I'll get my cigars. Nobody delivers cigars, which is so freaking frustrating. Just bring me Game Black Sweets. If someone could find me a platform in Massachusetts that will bring me Game Black Sweets and check my ID, that would be ideal. Then I don't have to get up. If I could just do that one thing, then I don't have to move all day and I can just sit here all day and tell you what's going on. But right now I have 30 minutes to 60 minutes where I have to figure out how to get my cigars. And if we can just make that not happen, if they can be brought to me. I could have ordered them, but I didn't think ahead. You can order plain cigars as long as you pay the tax, but I did not think ahead, and I don't have time to think about that right now. There's too much going on. There's just an attack in Tel Aviv. None of the alerts have lifted. I don't even know where the attack was, and I'm going to show you why the Iranians are so mad. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. This was yes, we do. Oh, they deliver cigars in California. I got to move out to California. Listen, I'll tell you, I get so frustrated because I just cannot get my cigars. Being a war reporter without nicotine is illegal. I'm pretty sure the Walter Murrow rules of war reporting journalism is that you have to have nicotine all the time. As such, I have enough nicotine, and then if I run out and can't figure out how to get them brought to me, we can do this as a crowdsource thing. Then I will in turn leave for an hour. And during that hour, I will either turn the stream off to get ready to go to the next stream, or I will in turn go to the store while the CCC meeting's playing. All right, all the alerts have cleared. I have no idea where those missiles just came in from, but let me show you why the Iranians are so mad. I still don't know exactly where those alerts went into, but I'll show you why they're so mad. I don't exactly know. I know exactly why they're mad, actually. I really shouldn't say I don't know. I know exactly why they're mad. As you're listening to the birds chirping over Tel Aviv. I really want to cover the CCC hearing, though. I really do, but I don't have time to be doing that. I don't believe that it is in the best interest of my audience or the people who depend on me for war coverage to be watching a regulatory hearing. I'd love to watch it, bro. I love regulatory hearings. Some of those people are my heroes, but the point is I have to make a very firm call about this right now, and I think my call is we're going to cover the war. If there's not going to be a lull. We bombed their train bridges. They're very made. This stream will end. I really think it's smart to end the stream about 12:30 or 1 p.m. Eastern, and then I will take an hour to settle myself, because once we buckle in for afternoon stream, it's going to go for 12 hours straight. It probably won't stop until midnight, maybe 2 a.m. Eastern. It will go all night. It's going to be very intense. This might actually go 24 hours in a row. I would get a lot of energy drinks and supplies. I can sense things are going to be very bad. Let me show you the latest. Hold on. Yes, Trey Yinks. This is my colleague, Trey Yinks. Trey's really smart. He is in Tel Aviv. This was his dispatch an hour ago from Tel Aviv, and this will tell you why the Iranians are so mad. I have the primary source videos too, but I just want to hear what Trey has to say about it, because his tone will tell me a lot. Go ahead, Trey.
Right now, a senior Israeli official confirming to Fox News that the Israelis have started strikes against Iranian rail infrastructure. Remember, earlier today, the Israelis warned civilians to stay off the trains in Iran. They have started to target the bridges of the rail system in Iran as we speak. Additionally, you have these strikes overnight against Karg Island, the largest export facility in Iranian territory, accounting for around 90% of Iran's oil exports. And you have ongoing U.S. and Israeli strikes against Iranian military infrastructure. What we are looking at right now is a staging operation. The United States and Israel are preparing. If a deal is not made, there will be an increase in strikes against the Iranian regime. The president described it as power plant day and bridge day to go after this critical infrastructure inside of Iran. But what's very interesting here, I spoke with a high-ranking source last night, and I asked what happens next if the president orders these strikes. And they said, again, this is the...
Breaking news, Kanye West has been banned from the United Kingdom. I repeat, Kanye West has been banned from the United Kingdom. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. Kanye West has been banned from the United Kingdom. I repeat, yay the artist formerly known as Kanye West has been banned from the United Kingdom. Hashtag Ye going to Iran. Who thinks that Iran should bring Ye in for a concert? It'll be better than when Dennis Rodman went to North Korea. Hashtag Ye in Iran. Watch, this is going to happen now. This is going to be hilarious. I have breaking news for you via the New York Times just 10 minutes ago. The rapper Kanye West, currently known as Ye, is banned from the United Kingdom entirely. He can't go in. I've never heard of this before. I've heard of it in like Canada. Like, it's not really as much anymore because they're much chiller about like a lot of stuff. But back in the day, they used to ban people for the most random things. Like, when you were 17, you were in like a car accident. You can't come into Canada. It's like, what? Why Canada? Like, your country's wonderful. I think Canada is awesome. They're just very strict about like the Canadian border, but the UK border, dude, you have to really do something bad. You have to really do something bad to like get like the UK to ban you. I'm serious. I've only heard of it for like Primo's gonna like know all about this because Primo was educating me about the rules about this. There are certain rules for like the UK. It's stricter than a lot of things. You'd be surprised. But like for the UK, like to get banned, you really have to push it. Like you have to, like they have people at Speaker's Corner and stuff like that that are just outrageous. And so like to actually get banned, it's a big deal. It's like going to be an international incident. The country of the UK has gone to war with Kanye West. He's going to make albums about them. Bro, ask Pusha T what happens when you go to war with Kanye West. Was it Pusha? Or it might have been Drake. I don't remember. Kanye had this beat that Drake wanted or something, and he wouldn't sell it to him. And then he just like rapped nonsense over it. I just can't. Yeah, no DUIs in Canada, definitely. They're very strict about, which I think is fine. They have a right to be as strict as they want. I just think they're a cool country. So, like, there was some, back in like the 70s, there were some people who couldn't even like work in Canada because of like a very small minor stuff. But Canada's changing. I mean, maybe not towards like immigration. They're getting a little more right wing, which is probably for the best. Just my opinion. I'm not Canadian though, so I'm not like the authority on this. But I am the authority on at least like the stories I've heard or listened to about people who used to try to work in Canada, especially wrestlers. Like anything they did wrong, like if a fan beat them with a bottle and like they were a witness in the case or something and they were like in the court proceedings, that could be enough to get you rejected. If like you got attacked, I've heard one story about that where a guy got attacked with a bottle and he was a witness in the case and they wouldn't let him into Canada.
Right now, a senior Israeli official confirming to Fox
This
News
is what happened this
that
morning.
the Israelis have started strikes against Iranian rail infrastructure. Remember earlier today, the Israelis warned civilians to stay off the trains in Iran. They have started to target the bridges of the rail system in Iran as we speak. Additionally, you have these strikes overnight against Karg Island, the largest export facility in Iranian territory, accounting for around 90% of Iran's oil exports. And you have ongoing U.S. and Israeli strikes against Iranian military infrastructure. What we are looking at right now is a staging operation. The United States and Israel are preparing. If a deal is not made, there will be an increase in strikes against the Iranian.
You get all the news
President
from Towel
described
News
it
Network,
as
says
power
hippie,
plant
says
day and
hippie.
bridge day to go after this critical infrastructure
Yeah, it already
inside of
started.
Iran. But what's very interesting here, I spoke with a high-ranking source last night, and I asked what happens next if the president orders these strikes. And they said, again, this is the Achilles heel of the regime, targeting energy infrastructure. And what it may actually do is force their hand at the negotiating table.
Oh my goodness.
Because again, the president has time and time again.
Look what the Iranians are doing. They're forming human shields. Oh no. Oh dude. Mr. President. Oh no. They're forming human shields at the power plants. I knew they were going to do this because they put the call out yesterday for 2 p.m. Iran time today. They're forming human shields. Oh, that's the song too. That's the like angry song. Hold on, I'll get you the full screen. Oh no. Hold on, I gotta get your comments out. Oh no. This is the Iranians are using human shields. They said they were going to do it yesterday. I told you they would do it. I told you they would do it. They're using human shields. We have the latest from Pete. I just can't believe they did it. They put their people outside the plants. Dude, they're women too. It's all women. Oh, dude, you can't do this. You cannot bomb that. They're gonna sleep there. Alert! Alert! Iran has launched again! Alert! 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 Iran has launched again. It's Tel Aviv. Alert! Iran has launched again. Alert! Incoming! 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 We're just gonna play this song as it's incoming. Incoming! 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 I repeat, you have 6 minutes. Incoming! We're switching to war coverage. I don't have time. I'm sorry. Incoming! It's Tel Aviv! Dude, the CCC's press staff is probably like, oh my god. Which, to be fair, I mean, yeah, Mary Alice, it's been a little intense, man. Oh my goodness. I can't believe what I'm watching right now. Oh goodness. I'm just gonna keep playing that song. Five minutes and 30 seconds. I just wanted to cover the CCC. Another alert! What are they? Oh, they're gonna destroy Tel Aviv. It's starting early. Oh no. Oh no, you have 5 minutes. They're launching over and over and over. They launched again. There's 2 missiles coming. I'm playing the Iranian chant because they're using civilians to protect their power plants. Bro. Oh no. I can't believe this is happening. I hope we didn't kill civilians. Oh no, they're going to be pissed. I'm playing the song. I'm playing the peace song. There's nothing else we can do right now. This is really bad. Oh, I can't play the peace song. I have to mute it. Oh, this is really bad. Oh no. They're gonna demolish Tel Aviv. We shouldn't have done that. I think we might have killed some civilians. Oh no. Oh no. Why did we do that? Oh, this is very bad. Oh no. Dude, I told you they were just initially starting. They have a lot of missiles. You have 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, this is bad. We've had to cancel our CCC coverage. I'm sure Mary Alice is thrilled. I'm sorry. I have to do what is important. Oh wow. Oh my word. Oh my word. This may be it. Oh, God bless you. Oh, no. Red alert. Where is that? Jerusalem? No. It's north of Jerusalem. I don't know what this is. It's Arakba, Sharaud. It's all the areas to the east of Tel Aviv and to the north of Jerusalem. And Tel Aviv. Oh, no. We might hear air raids. It's not good. It's not good. I think there's going to be air raids. You might see the missile on the southern Lebanon cam. I think it's a Korab Shahar. Oh, it's a very big missile. Air raids. Air raids. Air raids. Air raids. Air raids. Air raids. I repeat, air raids. 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 Oh, goodness. Air raids. Air raids. Air raids. Oh! Save the goats! Oh, this is bad.
The ground and the map.
Oh! Oh! Oh no! Oh dear goodness! Oh, Tel Aviv has been hit. Oh, the Iranians are about to destroy Tel Aviv. Oh no! Oh no, the Iranians are about to destroy Tel Aviv. Listen, listen, listen. It was never going to be 8 p.m. We bombed the railways at like, I don't know, 7 a.m. this morning. Listen, it's bad. Oh, this is very bad. And they're not going to stop. It's going to be all day. They're going to destroy Tel Aviv. I'm telling you, this was their plan all along. I knew what their plan was. I've been watching them. Oh, they just hit them really hard. Oh my word. They're going to launch again right away too. U.S. issues shelter-in-place order for all personnel in the Gulf. Iran has cut off all diplomacy with the U.S. Iran has cut off all diplomacy with the U.S. Oh, no. Perfect. I'm trying to figure out if I can get this thing delivered. I'm trying to make it so I don't have to leave because I don't have a car today. Oh, I get 50% off? Okay, bro. 50% off, that'd be epic. My point is, though, this is not an epic day. This is a very bad day. We bombed the bridges in Iran. They immediately they immediately got it, like, they immediately retaliated by bombing Tel Aviv like 4 times. I will get you a damage impact assessment right now, but the alerts haven't lifted. It is a very serious situation because as soon as the alerts lift, I know they will fire again. Iran has told Mr. President to be ready for tonight. I have no idea what that means, but tonight is now already in Iran, and they've abandoned the talks. The Bab al-Mandab Strait will be closed. The entire region will be plunged into darkness, says the Iranians. Oh no, this is bad. They're gonna bomb Tel Aviv all day. I don't know why we bombed their bridges. That was a very bad life decision. I could have told you, bro, don't bomb their bridges. Don't bomb their trains and don't bomb their bridges. I could have told you immediately they were going to bomb Tel Aviv. You can't stop them. Do you understand? It's not that they're going to shoot down your planes per se. They are going to bomb the Israelis every single time you do something they don't like in Iran. Do you understand? And they have proven time and time again that they can hit you and hit you hard. So stop. Okay, so here's the latest from this was yesterday. Get ready for tonight. No, it's not quiet, Paula. A lot of bombing. Oh my god. The civilians are going, this is from the other day, but the civilians in Iran, they're threatening to target this specific facility. Google hid it from the map, but it's real. It's not tonight, it's now. They took Sam Altman out so hard. Sam Altman got, like, taken out overnight. Dude, Ronan Farrow got Sam Altman overnight. Which, I mean, bro, I just want to tell everyone, I actually want to make a statement about, like, my personal experience over the past few years. I can't speak for Annie. But I just want to say, God bless Annie Altman. Annie Altman scored, like, a huge win against Sam Altman this week. I don't want to talk about the details of the case. You can read it in The New Yorker and other magazines. Annie Altman is my hero. Bro, I want her to be in my cabinet. Dude, Annie Altman is the greatest. Annie Altman is Sam Altman's sister. Did you know she follows me? Because I believed her. Like 3 years ago, bro, I was like, listen, people, back when her username was something else on Twitter, I saw her, like, tweeting, this news is, like, Ronan Farrow took Sam Altman down overnight, basically. Sam Altman's done. There's no way he can continue. Ronan Farrow ruined him. When Ronan Farrow comes, it's over. As soon as you get the email from Ronan Farrow, just give up. You're not going to win. And the other thing is, Annie Altman is a boss. Like, she is, like, the greatest. Like, she's a hero, bro. She took on, like, a giant and survived and got her story out there and, like, won in court recently. She's going to be able to take the case to trial. It's a civil case against Sam Altman. And Ronan Farrow, like, kneecapped, like, legitimately, in a journalistic sense, Sam Altman overnight. Annie Altman's probably having the best day of her life. God bless you, Annie Altman. God bless you. Job for 9, I wish I had an answer to that. God bless you. God bless you. Job for 9. I wish I had an answer to that. I pray only that someone hears your cry for peace. I think that's all we can do at these moments. All right. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. That's Annie Altman. God bless you, Annie Altman. Sam Altman's having a tough day. I bet the Iranians probably heard about Annie Altman and were like, how dare you, Sam Altman. Actually, the Iranians just want like an excuse. Well, they're going to bomb infrastructure no matter what, but they want an excuse to like take the name of like righteousness when doing it. So when they take out that OpenAI thing, I would not be surprised if they're like for Annie Altman. Seriously. And like frankly, like the Iranian line on all this is like the US leaders and especially the intelligence community were like really evil for like 40 years, like objectively really evil. And by the way, Adnan Khashoggi stole my paintings. So, bruh, you know, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. But bruh, my point is, okay, listen. The Iranians have this thing where they're like the Epstein class and the Khashoggi class, frankly. Own up to it, Iranians. It was the Khashoggis too. I know the Sultan of Brunei was involved. They stole my damn paintings. All right, I want my paintings back. All right, Iranians, you want to do something positive for the world? Give me my damn paintings. Just want my paintings. Anyway, so it's from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. Adnan Khashoggi wanted to avoid or like reduce his federal charges in 1990, so he stole my damn paintings. If you do exclamation point paintings in the chat, it will tell you. Amy, God bless you. I agree. War is terrible. But yeah, if you do exclamation point paintings in the chat, it will tell you all about how Adnan Khashoggi stole my paintings. I want my paintings back. Adnan, well, he's dead, but I want it from his family. Anyway, God bless Annie Altman. She's a hero. I want you to be in my administration, Annie Altman. What cabinet secretary role? She could be the vice president. She's very smart. Anyway, Annie Altman's really smart. Like 3 years ago, I found her story, and she was just trying to tell the world. Like, I always support people who I think are fighting corrupt institutions, and like they don't have any money, but they were harmed or wronged, and like they're trying to stand up against like a very powerful person. I'm your best ally, and Annie Altman's like a hero to me. Like, I want to meet her someday and just be like, you're a hero. She's really amazing. I mean, like, as like a inspiring figure for the American polity to learn about resilience, bruh, Annie Altman. This is what America did. There's more, but this is just a little bit. And the Israelis. We bombed their train bridges. Hello in Limonene, it has all started. We bombed their train bridges.
اصفهان هواپیمای دوم.
Latest from Iran. If you're wondering what happened, this is what happened this morning. Like, Iran is very upset, and it's because of not just this. I'll show you multiple examples. We hit it, okay? We by accidentally, no, not by accidentally. Americans bombed the Iranian railways on purpose, okay? On purpose. They bombed the Iranian railways. It has caused absolute chaos. The Iranians did not wait at all. They immediately started bombing Tel Aviv, and they continued bombing Tel Aviv, okay? And Hezbollah hit Naratanya, okay? So let me show you what happened, all right? And there was a terror attack at the Israeli consulate in Istanbul, Turkey earlier. I'm so sorry, I forgot to report that. 3 guys, it was literally right as I was waking up. I forgot it. I was very busy this morning. 3 guys, like an ISIS-style attack with like a shotgun and a pistol and some kind of rifle, run up on the Israeli consulate in Turkey. I saw the videos. They're just shooting. They got swarmed by like 40 cops, like 40 Turkish cops who just brutalized them. I can't show you the videos. I can describe it because it is about a war. It was definitely an act of war. 3 men with weapons approached the Israeli consulate in Turkey earlier today. I'm not going to show you the video. It's absolutely horrifying. The 3 men pulled out very heavy weaponry. It was not like a guy with a pistol. It was not one guy or a team. It was 3 guys. They were very well armed. They get to the Israeli consulate in Turkey. They all pull out their weapons, and there's no like breach the gate type of thing. They just got behind vans and started shooting at the consulate. Now, what that led to was a bunch of Turkish like military police. Like, I've never seen a response like this. I mean, I've seen it in like Australia and things like that where they have very serious gun laws. I don't know what Turkey's like. Turkey mobbed them. They brought like 40 to 60 like assault weapon wielding troops. One of the cops, he was in a firefight. They were playing cat and mouse firefight games. I can't explain it other than that. So I'm not showing this footage because it actually shows like someone dying, but I have to describe it to you as a journalist because Pope Leo told journalists that's the rules during war. You have to describe the human impact of the conflict. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. So the attacker of the embassy, imagine like a white van, like he's at the front of the white van, okay? And then the Turkish police officer, he's more like a security officer, like a high level, like special forces, is on the other side of the van. It's like a white, like kind of ambulance looking van. All right. The guy, he has like an assault shotgun. It's like a Spaz 12 kind of, like it fires very quickly and it's like very sleek. It's not a regular like hunting shotgun. It's like a military shotgun. He's kind of like holding this shotgun and trying to like look around each side of the van. The dude he is shooting at, the Turkish like defender of the embassy, is maybe 5 to 10 feet from him. The dude is like the attacker is like shooting at the security man with like shotgun blasts from like 10 feet away. He's like firing at him. He's like going to the right, firing. He's going to the left, he's firing. He's moving constantly. He was very like well trained. He was shuffling. He was not still for a single moment. Even when he was firing shots, like reloading, he was just constantly moving horizontally in front of the car so you couldn't hit him. And he was moving so quickly and using cover so effectively that the only shot you had at him were his calves, like beneath between the front wheels of the car. If you had a direct shot under the car, you could have seen his legs, but he was moving, he was running. He wasn't even walking. The dude was running, and he was staying in cover while doing it. It was very impressive. I don't know how he did it, but he didn't win the firefight. So the Turkish police officer must have been like a Delta Forces equivalent, because this dude, he lived through like, I'd say like no less than 60 shotgun bullets, like all, and they will penetrate metal. And he was living, he knew exactly what to do. He kept his calm. He stayed like exactly at the trajectory where no matter what the guy with the shotgun was doing, there was no way those bullets were going to hit the security officer, or he must have been special forces. Okay, the security officer, I can't even believe he did this. He waits for he knew the guy had a certain amount of rounds in the Spaz shotgun. It's like a auto-loaded clip, so you can only put so many shotgun rounds in even like an extended magazine in a loaded shotgun like that. I've studied it a little bit for academic purposes. So he waits for the dude to like just empty his magazine. And the dude does. He doesn't spray it either. He fires, waits, like for the recoil, recenters, fires, waits for the recoil, centers, fires, waits for the recoil, center. He does it like 7 times. The security officer lived. Alerts in the north, drones from Hezbollah. The Turkish security, I can't show you this footage. It's brutal because the guy dies, and I will not show death. I won't show it. If multiple news outlets make the call and censor it and show it, I might follow their lead, but I don't show people dying. I don't feel comfortable with it. So the Turkish officer, after waiting for the tactical reload by the gunman, and this is like steps from the foot of the embassy, the Israeli consulate and embassy in Istanbul. It's in the middle of downtown. The Turkish officer does the smartest thing I've ever seen. I don't even know how he pulled this off. He lays on the ground. You can see him in the video. It's incredible footage. They should not have been filming, whoever was filming. He lays on the ground and he uses his weapon. You can see him doing it. It's a pistol. He takes like 2 shots and he takes the dude out. He rips his legs apart. I watched the dude go down and like start spasming. I cannot show it to you. I will describe it as a journalist because that's what you'd read in a newspaper, which I'm comfortable doing as a journalist. He's like shooting at his legs. He hits him 3 times, like maybe 2 to 3 times before he falls. The dude collapses and then he hits him like 3 times dead center and he takes him out. He had to do it. The security officer was literally within inches of his life. That guy the attacker was going to kill that security officer mercilessly. It wasn't a regular security man. It was Delta Force or something, the Turkish equivalent. That dude, I've never seen anyone survive within 10 feet of a shotgun for 15 seconds and then calmly lay on the ground and then take out the attacker and just get up. The dude looked like he had ice in his veins. He had just stared down like 40 shotgun bullets in a row. Not one of them hit him, and it was a serious assault shotgun. People talk about like an assault weapon. No, bro, look at a spaz like shotgun. That is an assault shotgun. He lived, and then he took the guy out. It wasn't like a kill. It was a killing, but it was not an unjustified homicide. That security officer was lucky to be alive, and he stopped the threat. He's a hero, frankly. I don't know how he did it. I literally looked in awe as this security officer just pummeled that man with bullets. And that man had tried to end that security officer's life no less than 30 seconds before. No, maybe 10 seconds. He fired directly at him with a Spaz 12 like 8 times. And you can't, you might live through that if you're very far away. The guy was 10 feet away and he took 8 shotgun shells from a Spaz 12 and lived, and then within 2 seconds took the attacker out. Just incredible. I don't know who that dude is, but the Turkish president better give him some kind of a medal. Oh, 100% Northside. The dude, he didn't panic at all. He picked the perfect angle. I'm not showing the footage because it's very violent. Not just violent, but I won't show death unless my colleagues make the call to show it censored first, and then I might show it censored. For a number of reasons. One, the videos I get are very raw, very real time, and I don't want to show anyone dying. Second, I don't feel comfortable. I dislike death, especially during war, whether you're a combatant or not. I just don't like it. I know Pope Leo said, he's a leader of my church, so I listen to him very closely, but I make my own decisions. But Pope Leo said journalists have to cover the war in a way that tells the human story. Okay, well, death is part of war, and I need you to know how brutal it was, but I refuse to show it. Will I show it if under certain circumstances? My policy as a network is I will. There are times where if ABC or Al Jazeera or not Al Mayadeen, not Al Mana, because they'll show that quite often. Even Al Jazeera shows death a little bit more than I'm comfortable with deferring to them. But if I see it on 3 international networks, at least one domestic national network, and then somewhere in England, and then maybe 1 place in the Middle East, then I will show it. But it has to be it has to be quite possibly the most important incident of the war in order for me to show death, and I will only show it censored, and I will not show blood. As a news channel, I think all news channels follow that policy. I don't know a single news channel that shows uncensored bodies, even if they're trying to make a point about the brutality of war, and so I won't do it.
Conversation. Urgent warning to users and train passengers in the country of Iran.
This was earlier.
Dear citizens, for the sake of your security, we kindly request that from this moment until 2100 Iran time, you refrain from using and traveling by train throughout Iran. Your presence on trains and near railway lines endangers your life. You came under the pretext of helping the people, and in reality, you came to destroy and devastate Iran.
No, that's not the IDF. So the IDF said they're going to bomb 10 hours ago. They told the citizens of Iran, don't use your train tracks. And then immediately afterwards. Immediately. Oh, I hope you all feel better. Who is it? Standing Stones. Alright, so I think I can show you this video. Well, I can let you listen, but I think that might have a person in it. I don't want to show any videos. This was Karg Island earlier. Iran, Karg Island. The U.S. said it was conducting follow-up military strikes. Oh, James Oliver, we were covering a regulated adult and medical use cannabis hearing earlier. So I was just asking like what people think nationally about it, because in my state we have like a 400-person government agency that's brought in $9 billion in revenue in 7 years. So I was asking nationally in the U.S. what people think about that, because if I run for president within 90 days, I will create regulated markets in every state. I don't want to federally legalize. Like, I will federally legalize, but I don't want federal, like, regulation. That makes no sense. The states are the best positioned to regulate cannabis. So if you elect me president, I will legalize in every state adult and medical use within 90 days of taking office, and I'll let your state commissions, within line with, like, appropriate constitutional frameworks, set up their rules. But no state is allowed to ban it. We got to think about like you can't, like, it's unfair because there's something called the Dormant Commerce Clause. You can't discriminate if you're one state against goods from another state. It's not allowed. It's really not. So the people who are in states where there's like a Republican or like right-leaning government that doesn't like it, they're constitutionally going to be mandated to allow the trade. So they may as well just set up shops. But I'm not going to permit any state to ban it or the trade of it, because they need the money, frankly, and the agricultural industry is dying, and they can make a lot of money. I think based on population, we could probably bring in, let me see. So Massachusetts was 9 billion. It's like 3.8 million people, like times that by like what, 10? All right. So that's probably, I'd say we can bring in $90 billion. Okay, roughly $90 billion in taxable excise revenue across 50 states if we legalize, which is a lot of money. It could facilitate like a lot of programs. The states can have discretion over how they spend it, but I think we got to put like a 3% federal tax. I want to put that money aside for like, I don't really know. I guess like we have to kind of reform. I think there's going to have to be a unit within the DOJ that like releases people from prison that were convicted under the Federal Scheduling of Narcotics Act of 1971. We're going to have to release a lot of nonviolent offenders. So I want to take the 3% excise tax federally. Let's cap it at like 14% state tax, 3% local tax, 3% federal tax. That's 20%. I think everybody's happy with that. You can take up to 14% for your state from each sale, not on medical sales, adult use only. Medical cannot be taxed by law. That's my opinion. If you elect me, that's what I'll do as president. And then furthermore, the state on adult use for people over 21 can charge 14% tax for its purposes. The local community that's hosting the business or enterprise can charge 3%. Whether it's a manufacturer, cultivator, or delivery, it doesn't matter. They can charge 3% as part of something called the host community agreement. And then let's allow, but I don't want any like municipal rent seeking. So it has to be in line with like fair terms that are contractually reviewed, subject to like inspection, etc. No like contracts of adhesion where the towns leverage their ability to license to facilitate municipal rent seeking. That could be a problem. And then also a 3% federal tax, because I want to put like probably 2% of that towards funding a unit within the Department of Justice that just releases nonviolent offenders from who were convicted after 1971 under the Scheduling of Narcotics Act. And if anyone was punished under the Stamp Act of 1937, then I also want them released, but I don't think anyone's in prison for that still. I can do some research. So yeah, that's my presidential policy on that. I have a whole plan. But yeah, because of the Dormant Commerce Clause in the Constitution, like once it's legal, and states aren't going to be able to prohibit the traffic. I will jail state officials that try to stop the trade because they're hurting their own states. I will jail them. I will have them criminally prosecuted. I will lobby Congress to create a statute to give me that authority. We'll start jailing the politicians. I don't think there's any music playing. Oh, John Geel, you're earlier in the stream. Yeah, there's no music now. This is Neretanya, where a Hezbollah shell hit earlier today. Yeah, it is all going down. Here was the latest from the... Oh, they're about to do Wave 100. Oh, that's going to be a big wave. Here was the latest from the IRGC earlier.
Conversation. Breaking. Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Execution of Wave 99 of Operation True Promise 4 against American Zionist targets in response to the enemy's attack on petrochemical facilities in Asaliya and parts of its infrastructure. That the naval and aerospace forces of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps began executing this wave of the operation at dawn today, under the codename O Fatima al-Zahra, PBUH, dedicated to the martyrs of the Jewish and Christian communities in the imposed wars. The operation included a combined assault targeting American bases and interests in the Arabian Gulf region.
That was Neretanya.
In addition to troop concentration centers.
That was Neretanya in the north of Israel, the result of a Hezbollah shell earlier.
The operation included a combined assault targeting American bases and interests in the Arabian Gulf region and the Strait of Hormuz, in addition to troop concentration centers and command and control centers in the occupied Palestinian territories, using ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and offensive drones. In the first phase of the attacks, the largest petrochemical complex owned by American companies, SADRA, ExxonMobil, and Dow Chemical, in the Jabal area of Saudi Arabia was targeted, as well as a major complex of the American company, Chevron Phillips, in Al Jabal. Using medium-range missiles and several suicide drones, with the targets struck precisely. Additionally, a container ship belonging to the Zionist entity was targeted. It was using the Khor Fakkan port in the UAE to transport military equipment overland without passing through the Strait of Hormuz. It was struck precisely by missiles in an intelligence operation. It was announced that the destruction of this ship serves as a warning to all ships cooperating with Israel or the United States. The position of the American Aircraft Carrier Group, CVN 72 inches in the depths of the Indian Ocean, was also targeted using long-range naval cruise missiles. That unreasonable leaders of the United States, who place their interests in service of the Zionists, do not realize the extent of the vital interests at risk if Iran's infrastructure is targeted. That if the American military crosses the red lines, the response will be beyond the scope of the region. He also emphasized that it has not begun targeting civilian targets, but it will not hesitate to respond in kind to any aggression against civilian facilities. That Iran may target the infrastructure of the United States and its partners in a way that deprives them of the region's oil and gas for years, pointing out that the previous restraint toward America's regional partners has ended. And that all restrictions on target selection have been lifted. O Allah, grant safety, safety, safety. O Allah, unite the hearts of us Yemenis, the Muslim men and women, the believing men and women.
Okay, here's the latest from the IRGC earlier today. That looks like Mohatab Khamenei. Here's the latest from the IRGC. It could be loud. Oh, they're mad. Oh, they're using the song. Oh, they only play the song when they're really mad. They've done this like 4 times. Is that an anime guy? Bro, what is going on right now?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah al-Qasim al-Jabbarin. وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل به نام نامی مادر سادات به نام نامی ام الائمه یا فاطمة الزهرا یا فاطمة الزهرا یا فاطمة الزهرا.
Oh goodness. This is the motherland song. Only play this song when they're buried.
یا بغداد یا زهرا. یا بغداد.
Bahrain's legislation has been vetoed at the UN. Breaking news, the American journalist in Iraq, Shelley Kittleson, has been released. Kataib Hezbollah has released Shelley Kittleson. Oh, this is wonderful news. Oh, this is wonderful. After a week in captivity, American journalist Shelley Kittleson has been released from captivity per Reuters. Oh, this is excellent news, ladies and gentlemen. I know today's going to be rough, but one silver lining per Reuters. Per Reuters right now, Iran-aligned Kataib Hezbollah let go of Shelley Kittleson. Listen, she was not really an American journalist. She moved to Italy when she was very young and then started reporting. She's a very sympathetic journalist to the cause of the resistance. I don't think they meant to really, I doubt they harmed her. I bet they were very nice to her. She wears the hijab and the niqab. She really tries to highlight the human toll of war in the region. I don't think they treated her badly. I don't think they hurt her. I think they kidnapped her thinking they got an American journalist and then realized they got Shelley Kittleson and were we should probably let her go. So they're going to let her go. Here's the latest. No. Wrong
Oh,
owner.
Allah.
No, wrong owner.
U.S. journalist Shelley Kittleson to be released, says Iran-aligned Kataib Hezbollah. U.S. journalist Shelley Kittleson poses for a cell phone photo in a cafe in Baghdad, Iraq, March 30th, 2026. App photo. Iraqi armed group Kataib Hezbollah, which is Iran-aligned, said it will release abducted U.S. journalist Shelley Kittleson, adding that she must leave Iraq immediately. Kittleson was abducted in late March in Baghdad.
Oh,
More
that's
from
so...
today's live blog. 1.
Yes, yes,
IDF
yes,
calls
yes.
on
I
vessels
know,
off South
we don't
Lebanon
need it
coast to
anymore.
sail north amid Hezbollah.
Okay, so she was abducted off the street. I would imagine we're going to hear she was treated very well. They wouldn't do anything to her. I'm serious about that. She's very respectful, and if you look into any of her work that she did for Al Monitor and other publications, she's very sympathetic. And American journalists that are sympathetic to the plight of impacted populations by the U.S. wars of aggression over the past decades are few and far between. So they were, I assure you, they were very kind to her because she probably told them listen, I know this person and this person and this person, and I covered this and that and this. And they were probably oh, well, thanks. And she was probably yeah, I'm very sympathetic to you. And they were probably oh. And they were okay, well, we kidnapped you. And she was probably yeah, it's okay. Just let me go. And then they let her go. No. No. She, this journalist has been an independent journalist for 10 years in multiple countries in the region. She probably knows more. She's probably on par with Zena Kador. It's not, I don't know, don't sexualize her. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. It's just she's a ferocious independent journalist who just happens to have gotten lucky. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. That's outrageous. Oh, you think she's in on it? Well, okay. That is not a sexist opinion, so I'll allow that. That opinion's fine. The other one was derogatory. Maybe she does have a boyfriend or something. I don't know. But to imply that it's because she's a woman that they were talking to her. No, she's a journalist. Now a fair opinion, which I don't agree with, but a fair opinion is that it was a stunt. I don't agree with that, but at least that's not derogatory, What are you doing ban-evading again, One? You're going in the timeout chair. No, what do we say? Okay? You've had some problems behaving the past few days. You get very riled up, okay? Then you start going at the host. All right? I've seen a few of you. All right? You're fine, one, but you can't be ban-evading. You can wait till your initial timeout expires. I will not have the rules of this honorable place spat upon. Thank you, Mr. C777. God bless you. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for being so respectful. Enjoy your wrench. Yeah, opinions are fine. It's more just like, there's only a few rules here, and I enforce, like, most of them, as long as it's not derogatory or a personality. Like, I'm the only one that really enforces them. But yeah, like, those kind of generalizations, it's, you get more flies with honey. So, I don't know, it's more to help you than anything. Yeah, you know, one has a lot of alt accounts. One's, all right, unhurried. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Hi, how are you, Mimi? Hi, guy, we are up against the devil, Mimi. All of us, the good people of the world who are believers, are up against the devils. I agree. Unhurried journey. Unhurried journey. I am happy to have you here, but you got to stop with the personalities. You got to tell us about your ideas. When you wrap them in polemics, like, no, people just think that you're being, like, hurtful. You're not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. You want to teach them about your views. All right, so unhurried journey, I have to issue you a warning. Okay, unhurried journey. Do you see why this isn't working? It's not because of the alien thing. I think it's fascinating. You're engaging in personalities. Do you know what a personality is? A personality is where you talk at someone or about someone else. We don't do personalities here. You got to watch the House of Commons a little bit. That's explicitly prohibited in the rules of debate. You can't be, like, addressing other people. It's very, like, uncouth. It's not very formal. It's not how we do debate. You have to present the ideas. They should not be directed at other members of the Honorable House, and they should not be directed at individual members in particular. Like, in fact, I'd prefer you not even use other people's names directly. I like referring to my colleagues as the Honorable Member for, okay? But my point is, like, you shouldn't be using you statements unless it's friendly. Obviously, that's fine. But yeah, like, it's just the style of the commentary. Like, it's polemical. Like, you know what that is? It's, like, wrapped up in, like, a comment that's kind of like a critique of specific people. We don't allow that. It's explicitly prohibited. Okay. I am not, so unhurried journey, that's the problem. You're expressing an opinion about a state of affairs in the world. It's a logical fallacy to apply, like, the larger systemic critique to individuals. Not only is it a logical fallacy, it's explicitly prohibited under the standing rules of the chamber. So it's not what am I doing? I'm the one who sets the rules. It's what are you doing? You know, I'm happy to talk to you because I feel like it's helpful to you to have a place where you can express yourself. But I don't want you engaging. All you have to do, it's very simple, is just not engage in personalities. If you don't know what that word means, we can Google it. It's like where you talk about other people or to other people during a debate. You should be talking about ideas and expressing them as such. All right? So that's the warning. I got to hold you to it. I will do the enforcement action if I must. I don't want to. I do not want to, my dear friend. All right? But I must if you continue to violate the rules of decorum. It's kind of like, it's not about you. It's about the space. You can express your ideas in the form of I believe statements. The word you should not be in your statements. That's a violation per se of the rules of decorum of the chamber. All right? And I feel like maybe some other places you were chatting, they didn't give you the chance. I do listen. Listen, I agree that we are not an advanced interstellar species and that because of our immaturity, the aliens don't want to talk to us. That's why I like you in the chat. I think you're onto something. You just have to wrap it in language that is not directed at people. It has to be more like, the aliens feel that the people of the earth are doing X. You see what I'm saying? That's the only problem. You won't have any, people express all sorts of opinions here. You just can't wrap it in the you statement. I know you want to, but you can't because you have to just think about the chamber itself. It's not conducive to agreeable discourse. Not because of your opinion. I think your opinion's fine. I embrace it. Factory farm videos. Listen, I would love to do that. If I had a reporter, you could send me reports, grantsmithellis@gmail.com. Teach me all about factory farming. Teach me why it's bad. I've seen some of the videos. Do you think I eat that stuff? Absolutely not. I think we need ethical hunting, okay? I'm not going to go up here and be like, all of the animals are like sacred. No, I think cows are sacred. I think sheep are sacred, but goats are sacred. That's just me, okay? But like, I'm not going to stop people from hunting. That doesn't make sense. We wouldn't be able to feed people. Like, some people want to ethically hunt animals. I don't, but I'm not going to stop them. But I don't agree with factory farming. It's abhorrent, and it's morally wrong. So, I think Unhurried Journey is, well, first of all, Nightbot yelled at Unhurried Journey. I think, all right, don't troll Unhurried Journey. They're just very protective of animals. We talk about how much we love the goats. How can we tell Unhurried Journey that their views about animals are wrong? I'm not talking to Nikki, obviously. I think Nikki was being very gentle and kind. Hi, Nikki, how are you? But I also think that, Unhurried Journey, I know they're enslaved, like, we can't, like, that, okay, there are a lot, there's like 180 countries here, okay? A lot of people have a lot of, like, what no pun intended, pet causes, and they all, like, get to talk about them. But, like, the way you're doing it, one, like, I'm trying to help you be able to find your zone in this space so that you can convey your opinion. But you have to talk about, like, not have to, but, like, there is a, like, ebb and flow to the chat. And every time you come in, you talk about things that aren't being discussed. You see what I'm saying? So we're just kind of helping you refocus. Unhinged is Legion. Unhinged is just trying to protect the animals. All right, there we go, Unhinged. I think we're in a good place now. All right, so that was the good update. Here's the latest from Iran, where the power plants are being protected by civilians. All right, good job, Unhurried Journey. It's not your opinion. It's that you always talk about the same thing. You have to gel with the chat. Follow what the chat's talking about. I know, Unhinged. Oh, you're gone now. No, you can't be silenced.
به آمریکای جنایتکار به اون ترامپ جانی بگیم که
God bless you, water under the fridge.
این اتحاد و این انسجامی که به وجود اومده رو با هر حمله‌ای که به زیرساخت‌ها و هر چیزی که بخواد کشور رو نابود بکنه، این اتحاد رو نمیتونی نابود بکنیم.
دور هم جمع شدیم و این زنجیره انسانی رو تشکیل دادیم تا اعلام بکنیم زیرساخت‌های این کشور رگای حیاتی این کشور هستن و هر ضربه به اون دقیقاً ضربه به همه مردم ایران هست. این یک اقدام جنایی و جنگیه.
همانطور که بارها و بارها ترامپ کشور منو مورد حمله و مورد تهدید قرار داد، من و هم نوعان خودم وظیفه خودمون دونستیم برای حفظ این نظام و حفظ این زیرساخت‌ها از این زنجیره حمایت کنیم.
Wow, they're using human shields. I've only heard of that in literature about World War II. Wow. No, that's exactly what you do to protect that infrastructure. Who in their right mind would fire bombs at civilians? The civilians know exactly what they're doing. All right, here's the latest from the UN where Bahrain's resolution, it was expected to be vetoed. Russia, China have vetoed Bahrain's resolution to use force to open the Strait of Hormuz.
I shall put the draft resolution to the vote now.
Russia and China vetoed it.
Will those in favor of the draft resolution contained in document S/2026/273 please raise their hand. Those against,
All right, Unhurried Journey. That's a timeout. You use the U word. You're timed out for, let's see, how long am I going to time you out for? I'm naming the honorable member for Unhurried Journey. You are timed out for 30 minutes. If you come back and do that one more time, you're timed out for 24 hours. I'm naming the honorable member for Unhurried Journey for a violation of the rules of decorum of the chamber.
As follows: 11 votes in favor, 2 votes against, 2 abstentions.
Okay, Russia and China vetoed the Bahrainian resolution. You only need one veto. Both Russia and China vetoed the Bahrainian resolution. You can see most of the world is with the Gulf countries. If you have 11 of 15, is that what it is? I think there's, how many voted? 13?
The result of the voting is
11 in favor.
11 votes in favor, 2 votes against,
2 against. He was pissed.
2 abstentions.
So it was, they have 11 out of 14. The world is pretty much with the Gulf countries. No, the ayes don't have it, Mad Mike. At the UN Security Council, 1 vote against kills the entire resolution. It's called veto power. Any one state can veto the entire thing. And it's not like any other form of parliamentary representation. You can't just override it. Once it's vetoed, it's vetoed. That's it. So, yeah, it's like the most unique thing. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to take a lunch break. What I think I'm going to do is play the I might just play the CCC and take a walk during lunch. I'm going to do it now, actually. So you're going to get 30. You might be like, what is the CCC? I'm going to play you like 30 minutes of a regulatory hearing. It's a very important enforcement action. When I get back, we will pick up our daytime coverage. I am still going to switch the stream, okay, at 2:30 p.m. because I can only stream for 12 hours at a time or it doesn't save the recordings. I'm going to play this regulatory hearing for the next, 30 minutes, okay? Chat Mom Lynn, okay? Nikki is here as well, Chat Mom Nikki. Multiple people will be monitoring you. You will all be behaving. I know you will do a very good job, and then I'll be back in 30 minutes. I don't have the rental car because of the chaos that happened, so I'm just going to go for a quick walk. You won't find me. I'm going to take a circumlocuitous route. Anyway, my point is, behave, please, and then we'll pick up with our coverage in 30 minutes, and I'll hopefully have lunch by then, too, and then I'll be with you for the rest of the day. It's going to be a big day. 2:30 p.m. is when the formal coverage will start, so literally you're here for, like, the morning coverage that's now going over into the evening because there's so much going on. I'm going to show you a regulatory meeting for, like, maybe, like, 30 minutes, and then we're going to pick up back where we were. And you might be like, Grant, I don't want to watch a regulatory meeting. Well, it's America, all right? And I am a towel.
Did kind of organize, and then obviously the testing team will be kind of looking.
I mean,
I have to go back to the beginning of the enforcement action section, sorry. All right, take a listen. Everybody be erudite, well-behaved little towels. If there is any tomfoolery, I will declare a writ of shenanigans.
2815.
All right, so there's going to be a bunch of talk about, like, people doing things.
So this is a final order and stipulated agreement before the board for consideration. It affects licensee Boston Bud Factory Incorporated.
Have your map
with
in your
two
cameras.
licenses, MR 281525 and MP 281397, as well as 2 registered agents, Mr. Franklin Daly. Agent registrations AR 287654 and AR 287627, as well as Mr. Carlos Sarno, AR 287655 and AR 287648.
Hi, Francine. Pete Bunny Towel loves you very much. He can't wait. He can't wait to see you later. He was asking about you earlier. He says he's a card stand and he misses his friend Francine. I told him he's
as
a card
noted,
stand.
the commission last considered this final order and stipulated agreement at our March 26th public meeting. And so at that time, the board did ask for specific revisions to the agreement, which we believe the parties have incorporated. To start, we have included a payment schedule, which requires the licensee to pay quarterly payments of $6,250. So those would be due 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months after ratification. We do provide in the order that licensees may remit payment in advance of those scheduled due dates. So if they wanted to pay it all in full, that is totally fine. There was no penalty for prepayment. We also have included an acceleration clause. So in the event that any payment is missed, in accordance with the schedule, the commission has the ability to notify the licensee and demand full payment within 14 days. So additionally, we made revisions to paragraph 86, which comprises the continuing education or affirmative relief, some of that affirmative relief requirements. So what we have done here is, one, we have included a general requirement that all continuing education must be completed within 3 months of ratification. However, I do want to caveat that slightly. We have specified that the parties will identify a training course or courses that address 1, youth prevention and advertising, and 2, inventory management, including diversion and inversion. So we felt that hit the points that were raised by the commissioners, as well as hit some of the specific violations that we found in the stipulated agreement as well. I do note in here, though, the parties do note in here that if the parties are unable to identify a suitable training course within those 3 months, that deadline shall be extended for an additional 3 months. So in any event, those will be completed within 6 months. And
what will be the reporting back to, you know what I mean, that they have 3 months to find it, and obviously it may or may not, you know what I mean, it's going to be up to them to figure that out. When do they have to report to us?
So that is within the 3-month time period. And so we do note in paragraph 86 of paragraph A that all respondent licensees, employees, including management and owners, shall complete said trainings, and respondent shall notify the commission of the dates of the training. So they must notify us when those trainings are actually conducted. And then the final revision that we've included in here, which was not specifically requested by the board, but hearing some of the feedback, I felt this was beneficial to include. So in accordance with our General Laws, Chapter 94G, Section 19, I did include the option for the commission to record this order, which will then constitute a debt to the Commonwealth and shall have priority over any other encumbrances recorded, registered, or filed. So really speaking to
this would be first in line for any debts that would be paid in the event they go into a receivership.
Correct. So that is something that we have not employed thus far, but it is something that reviewing our statute and definitely hearing the comments by the board, I incorporated this in here. I didn't include it as a May because we have not utilized this. I want to make sure that we are following the process correctly, but incorporating that in here and then including that as we're moving forward as well, I think would be my recommendation.
Are you anticipating doing that with any other stipulated agreements?
I think incorporating this as standard language would be a good idea, and I definitely want to caveat this. Thank you. I want to caveat this with, I've included May right now because we will need to figure out exactly where we are recording this. I know I've spoken with some folks over at DOR in a separate matter, and they do something very similar too. So incorporating this for right now, but trying to utilize this as a tool to make sure that when the board has voted to accept a penalty, that we will make our best effort to guarantee that we will get that payment in any event.
Excellent. Thank you. Commissioner Roy.
Enforcement Counsel, what paragraph is that language?
So that's added onto paragraph 98.
98.
And excuse me, I'm actually noticing in my addendum, I did not include that paragraph. So paragraph 98, apologies, Commissioner.
She didn't see it. It's not there.
So with that,
how do we make sure that that's in, it is in the paragraph, or did you just?
May I read the paragraph?
Please, thank you.
Paragraph 98, this order shall be binding upon respondents and shall inure to the benefit of the parties to this order and their respective successors and assignees, and shall be construed in accordance with and governed by the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Further, in accordance with General Laws, Chapter 94G, Section 19, the Commission may record this order, which shall then constitute a debt to the Commonwealth and shall have priority over an encumbrance recorded, registered, or filed with respective to any site.
Thank you. Is this the first time we've ever done this?
Yes, I believe so, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Can I ask, who was the enforcement counsel when this first enforcement action was established?
Madam Chair, you referring to the assigned attorney on that matter?
Well, who was the enforcement counsel? The person in your role.
So the enforcement counsel at this time, when it was referred to us, I believe it was Rebecca Lopez.
And did she review these initial findings?
I do not believe the stipulated agreement. I would need to go back and look at the timeline on that to just be sure.
I would actually like to see, and this isn't going to delay, but I believe I've requested, I would like to see all, now that we're at a final stage, I would like to see in writing all correspondence between enforcement counsel Rebecca Lopez and the investigations team regarding these initial findings. I think I might have put that in writing to you, but I'm raising that with my in front of my fellow commissioners now. But could I get that in writing? Could I get those emails and maybe Paul could help us with that if we need to do an email search. But I want all correspondence between Rebecca Lopez, former CIA, and I'm not sure, what her role was, Noam Jones, but I would like to get all of that correspondence in writing.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'm happy to discuss with the executive director and see there maybe I do want to just advise as well that there might be some elements of an underlying investigation that were not substantiated or we did not move forward with during the enforcement action.
Again, we're talking about process today, and this is also because I remain concerned about consistency of process. Again, this predated you. And if there are additional, I want to investigate. I mean, are you saying that there are some additional investigations that are still open?
Oh, no, not speaking to this one.
I'm just speaking
in particular, but as a general matter too, there may be certain instances where perhaps there are a number of different items that prompt an investigation, but after looking into it, it is either determined that an enforcement action is not warranted at that time, or we're not able to substantiate. So making an effort to not prejudice.
I understand that, but it's understanding, and again, responding to the IG's office in the state auditor's office about parity of process. And so again, if there is some reason to not provide that, and again, if my fellow commissioners want it, not want it, but if there is some reason, I'd like that in writing, because it's my understanding that there were some questions that were raised a number of years ago about this, and it's important, I think, for us to understand so that we can make sure that there is parity of process to understand what goes into this. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Any other
I have a process question, but I think we need to vote on this. But I know.
Yeah, Commissioner Stebbins.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Enforcement Council, cleaning some of the other language that you and I talked about up. Just want to, I don't think it needs to be included here, but I again would encourage us as the commissioner, as a board, to direct you to transmit a signed copy of this to the city of Holyoke in this case, just so the municipality is aware of the actions that we're taking.
Commissioner, did you have them?
I have process questions, because I think.
Do we want to take that up now?
No, when we get to on section Roman numeral 6, number 4, I'll wait until then on the agenda.
Okay. All right. And again, we thank.
We have to vote on it.
I know, but I'm thanking him for his patience. He was raising his hand. He was ready to sign on the dotted line, and we appreciate the work that has been done. We thank Enforcement Counsel Gooden and all the staff who put this together. It's also making sure that we as commissioners are acting consistently. We know that each case is different, but that's what Enforcement Counsel Gooden is working on, taking some of the discretion out of some of the fines. And I'm hoping that we can look at that within the next few weeks to make sure that there is more consistency in terms of what fines are being meted out to licensees. So with that, Commissioner Roy, I will entertain a motion to approve. I have one question. Does staff get to change this stipulated agreement after we vote on it? Is that a decision that can be made by anyone within the staff?
Madam Chair, the process following this is that the board vote will be recorded at the bottom. So it's on page 14 underneath the licensee signatures.
The question I'm asking is, this is a stipulated agreement that the board is voting on. There are some discretionary, like 3 months versus 6 months. Would anyone on the staff have the ability to go beyond, say, the 6 months once we have voted here?
We would stick to the language in the
within the stipulated agreement. Would anyone on the staff have the ability to make even minor changes without coming back to the board?
I mean, as a
fall out of the language of the stipulated agreement.
As a kind of general matter, I would want to defer that to any, like the executive director, the general counsel.
Enforcement counsel. These are the four corners of the agreement that the board is voting on. Is there any discretion to change this agreement without a vote of the board?
To the larger point, to the larger question about whether there's any ability or authority or power, that is, I would view that as a legal question. I would need to look into it more.
I'm asking you the legal. I would do. I'm asking you the legal question. We have the four corners of this agreement that we're voting on. Is that what this will remain without a further vote of the commission?
That is my understanding.
That is a yes?
That is my understanding of what would happen here. You are asking me a legal question, so
I'm asking you, I'm asking you a very specific question. I'm saying if we vote on a stipulated agreement, that I believe that it is only the board, because there's a little flexibility there, 30 days, 60 days. Maybe you want 61 days. And we're saying no more than 60 on that training. So I'm saying we might even consider that a minor change, but I just want to clarify. And I think I've heard a yes, that this is the vote of the board. These are the final parameters that unless the commission takes another vote, this is what it is. Is that correct?
That is my understanding.
Right, thank you. Right, Commissioner Roy.
We did vote on motion language to that end. On February 10th, 2026, the motion language read as follows. The commission approved the motion to direct the executive director to refrain from engaging in any offline or informal communications with licensees for the purpose of renegotiations, modify or otherwise altering the terms of any final order and stipulated agreement previously ratified by the commission. Any request for modification or reconsideration of such agreements must be brought back before the full commission for deliberation and vote.
Okay, so we have our answer. Okay, with that, have we, I've had a motion from Commissioner Roy to approve the stipulated agreement. I interrupted myself. Commissioner Stebbins, do you second that motion?
Quick
Oh, please, thank you.
Obviously, do we want to include language subject to any ministerial or grammatical changes and non-ministerial edits that they might?
I won't support that language. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking for the four corners of the agreement. So okay. if you want to further amend it, and then we can take a separate roll call. So if I might, I would also just
amend that motion language to say a copy of this shall be submitted to the city of Holyoke.
Okay, but you don't have an additional, we can direct them to do that, but that doesn't have to be. So moved, do I hear a second?
Second.
Having been moved and seconded, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Benedon.
Aye.
Commissioner Roy.
Aye.
Commissioner Stebbins.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It is passed unanimously. Look forward. Thank you. Thank you. All right,
Thank you.
If I can
please, thank you.
bring up the other motion.
Commissioner Stebbins.
I would move that the commission direct staff to communicate a copy of the stipulated agreement to the host community, city of Holyoke.
That's a motion.
Yes.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Having been moved and seconded, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Roy.
Aye.
Commissioner Stebbins.
Aye.
Commissioner Benedon.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It passes unanimously. All right. So approval of executive director performance review form. We've all had that distributed to us, but given, and I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments. Will we, I don't know if we can put that up on the screen, or everyone is in possession of that. Yes, they've all seen that. So I want to especially point out and thank our CPO, Debbie Hilton Creek, for helping Commissioner Roy and me for putting this together. I think that there was some initial kind of back and forth. Commissioner Stebbins has developed a forward-looking form that is budget-based that will go into the 26-27 performance evaluation. And the way we discuss this with the CPO is the current form that I will be asking my fellow commissioners to fill out. That's more focused on leadership, management, how the commission is functioning. What Commissioner Stebbins has put together is more like a percentage based on the goals that we established for the 26-27, fiscal year. What percentage of execution did the executive director achieve? And they're overlapping, but they're separate. So because of the, we did not know when we last met, and frankly, only yesterday, we found out that the conference committee has passed has approved of the conference bill that will be heading to enactment to both chambers, the House and the Senate. What I will be asking my fellow commissioners to do is for them within the week, I would ask if they could fill out their form. I will take that within a week and I will work with HR staff. I have asked Wendy Sanchez to make sure that all of the feedback that is coming to me from my fellow commissioners is anonymized. And so what I will do is I will put together sort of a homogenized report card, if you will, taking the 5s, the 2s, the 3s, and the comments. And then on the April 30th meeting, and then again, this should be with at least, we're closing on 3 weeks of at least 2 weeks notice for the executive director I will make sure that 2 weeks before the April 30th meeting, we will get that to the executive director for his comments so we can take this up at the April 30th meeting, because ultimately this would be an exercise in futility if indeed the legislature, if the governor does sign this bill and there is an emergency preamble. So that's my intent. We will put this on the agenda for the April 30th meeting, giving the executive director 2 weeks time to look at the homogenized and the individual comments. So with that, unless there are any questions or comments, we'll move on to update on testing protocols package. Oh, Commissioner Benedon.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify to ensure that we remain in compliance with the open meeting law, that when commissioners submit individual comments to you, will the consolidated, is the intention that the consolidated document then be redistributed to commissioners?
A consolidated document with anonymized comments. So they'll be a grade, if you will. And I will have help with the math. And then the anonymized comments will come back to the executive director. Anonymized will come back to the commissioners when we put this on the agenda, and then we will hold this in, as Commissioner Shevins is, as you know, stated at the beginning, we will do the review at the public meeting on the 30th, giving the executive director enough time to respond to the grading and to the comments. But I will work, and if I will work with the staff to make sure that I'm not seeing where those comments are coming from. I'm not seeing the individual grades, and I think that Commissioner Stebbins has done this before, so that there will be one report. And actually, I'm trying to think, you can actually see that online someplace. But anyway, that's what my goal will be, to get that to the executive director 2 weeks before the April 30th meeting. And again, otherwise it doesn't, you know what I mean? If indeed this time frame for the bill to pass happens as quickly as it might, otherwise, sorry, this is my, is it still? All right, is that, sorry, I cut out and so it came back in there. So anyway, any other questions, Commissioner Bennett?
So I just want to flag that I think there's potentially some ambiguity in the law as to whether that type of circulation of even anonymized comments of commissioners back to commissioners is appropriate. There was an SJC decision in 2018 that suggested in dicta that it may be acceptable to do that if the document is simultaneously posted online and made publicly available.
So could you share me that case and highlight the dicta to me, and then I'll just make sure that
I will note that the Attorney General's office has never accepted that as an acceptable approach and has taken a, I would say, stricter view that even that type of consolidated and anonymized performance evaluation shouldn't be shared outside of a meeting. So to the board members.
So how should, so give me your best suggestion as to how we do this without violating.
So one option, if it's ready, if we're meeting on the 16th and it's ready by the 16th, it could be shared with commissioners on the 16th.
This, you mean
consolidated.
Oh, because, but can I consolidate it? That's what I'm asking you, is how should I function as a
staff member, ideally?
Okay, all right, okay. I will ask Wendy Sanchez to do that. Okay, for her to do the consolidation. Okay, so a staff member should do that.
Right, and then it can be distributed at the meeting.
Okay.
On the 16th, and then we have further discussion on the 30th.
Okay, and I'll speak with the CPO about that, but I'm telling you what I'm most comfortable with in terms of this is our job and how I'm most comfortable to execute that. Commissioner Roy?
So I just want to make sure I have clarity. So today is April 7th. You would like this turned around by April 14th, 1 week from today.
Yep.
Should we send them directly to Wendy?
Yes.
Okay. And then they will be consolidated with comments, anonymized, and then that will be shared with you?
I think it's shared with the whole board for the April 30th meeting.
Shared with all of us on the 16th.
Will it be attributable at that time?
Well, I think it can be. The lack of attribution doesn't change anything for open meeting law purposes. So if there's a comment, the fact that it's anonymized, but nobody knows it's coming from me, doesn't change the fact that it would be an opinion of a commissioner that is being shared with other commissioners outside of a meeting, even without my name attached. So whether we want to anonymize, I think is really a question of, do we want that confidentiality? But it doesn't allow us to do anything under the open meeting law.
Well, I was anonymizing it. So I'm not, anonymization doesn't make sense. Or doesn't, well,
right. Anonymization doesn't allow us to do anything different as far as the open meeting law is concerned.
And the concern with the chair receiving anonymized.
What he's saying is that it's still sharing opinion.
Yeah, well, and also one could decipher a commissioner writing style, right? That's what I was thinking too. Like, it doesn't provide probably complete anonymity. So again, so today's the 7th. By the 14th, we will submit to Wendy. She will consolidate it into one document with comments.
And comments that do not have to be anonymized? Are they, do we care if they're anonymized? I mean, I don't know if people.
I think that's a question for commissioners if we want our comment. I don't feel the need for mine.
That's fine. And I guess we're gonna have to have the conversation in public meeting anyway, so.
Okay, and then this will be reviewed publicly on April 30th, or?
We'll have the public review. So this is what I'm saying, is that my intent is, my intent is to give the executive director 2 weeks to, maybe we send it, maybe it gets sent to me and to the executive director. And the executive director has 2 weeks to respond. And then we will have public meeting on the 30th.
To Commissioner Benedon's point, it would need to be shared publicly first before it could. Is that what I heard?
I think it has to be shared publicly first.
Before it goes to commissioner. Well, when it goes to commissioners.
But we have the model now. And when you're saying is that when we write it, it has to be shared publicly before it goes to the executive director?
No, before it goes to you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. So
because you could violate OMO, because you might know my writing style. You
right.
might know.
But what I'm saying is, if my intent is to put this conversation that we're going to have in the meeting to take this review for April 30th, I mean, do you want to? I'm just saying, what will we
miss this? Commissioner Benon, if I heard you correctly, you propose unveiling it on the 16th.
If we feel that it would be helpful to see it in advance of our discussion, that would be the time
to do it. So
to see what other people are saying.
Right, to see what each other.
Okay.
So the unveiling, but not the actual review itself. So the unveiling could be on the 16th.
Right.
De-anonymized. And then the actual review itself could take place on the 30th. I think if that's what I understood. So today is the 7th. They're due to Wendy by the 14th. The unveiling could be the 16th and the actual review itself could be the 30th.
Okay, all right. That makes sense. Executive Director?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would not be comfortable with a public document that does not incorporate my responses to any feedback. So that's my only concern with.
But that's what I'm trying to figure out is how do I give you enough time? I mean,
right.
What I'm hearing is open meeting law may not allow that. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay, certainly that would not. I believe that the answer was in there, which was you all send your comments through HR. HR sends it to the chair, and I have my responses in there, and then this goes to the 30th, I think is the actual approach, but perhaps I'm missing something.
I'm just hearing that's what I had initially intended on doing, but I'm hearing that.
Well, it can't be recirculated to the entirety of the board. I think the ability for the executive director to respond prior to the document being public is something that I think is necessary in the process.
I acknowledge that. I think that is fair. My concern under the open meeting law is simply that the other three commissioners' comments should be conveyed to the chair outside of an open meeting, because then you have three commissioners all sharing their opinions on the same matter with another commissioner.
So let me just, because we're getting April 7th, we have the form. April 14th, we send it to Wendy Sanchez. I will talk to Debbie Hilton Creek because I want to make, because again, this is the prerogative of the board to do this review. And I want to make sure that everything we do is, abiding by open meeting law, but also making sure that we get away from that. So how do we allow the executive director the 2 weeks, unless you're just saying that a strict reading of open meeting law probably doesn't work. And I'm just, again, and if we want to, I just would look for your guidance, because I'm trying to do this in a way that balances both my need as chair to make sure that we're abiding by open meeting law, making sure that we respect the executive director's, ability to not be surprised by something like this. But I mean, honestly, I don't know if there's any real, I mean, if we wanted to, we could just do this without a form. We could just do a review without any form, right? Yes, I think we could.
The board can do what it would like.
We can, Debbie Hilton Creek, CPO, why don't you just come up here, and tell us if we have to have a written form or whether or not, or we could fill out the form in a meeting. I don't know. Or do the form after the meeting.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
I would, I guess, also ask, and I don't know the answer. I'm thinking aloud here. Given the timeline and the coming month or 2 months, which we don't know what that is going to bring, what is our hope for the function of this evaluation to be? I mean, we are doing an evaluation. The existing commissioners who have been here for the last year, or some of us less time than that, are looking backward and doing a performance evaluation.
Right.
But it doesn't seem appropriate for this makeup of the board, perhaps, to do the negotiation of the next contract.
See, I think that it's up to us to do the evaluation, which will inform the negotiation of the next contract. So that's why I think that we have a time-sensitive mission here
to do the
evaluation, because nobody else can do it. Commissioner Roy?
My experience here has been that it does inform a merit increase for the executive director. And if there is a new composition of the board, they will have no personal context to base a merit increase on. So whatever guidance we provide in a review will help.
And there's still a question as to whether or not the governor signs this, the governor sends it back, with amendments to take more time. Because there's a lot going on right now, in the cannabis world. And, I know that there's a lot on the governor's plate right now. So, she may opt to, have the bill be effective at a later time. So we may have no problem in getting this done. But if indeed this does follow under the fast track that was set by that conference committee, I do think that we have to do this on a much faster pace than I thought. Commissioner?
I agree without a doubt that the existing commissioners should have an opportunity to do that backward-looking review. I would ask whether it can be done individually. So we each fill this out. We have it. We have the individual evaluations. Is there a need necessarily to rush a finalized composite evaluation? So what value does having a single composite evaluation that has, if we're rating 1 through 5 and you have some 3s and some 4s and some 5s and you get an average score, does that really provide value as opposed to having the individual evaluations done? And if we end up running out of time and a different composition has to do it, they still have.
So are you saying that you don't see any need for a composite, that the individual scores?
Or at least that we need not rush that. Okay. I see value perhaps in rushing the individual evaluations, but having the meeting where we.
But I'm just saying, anybody can do the math when they look at the individual scores. So and by the way, I'm not the one. I don't care if I do, what I mean? It's not up to me to do that. It's really just, so to ask the CPO, does there have to be a written form filled out? Is that state law?
Not state law, but policy. I think we need to follow the same process that we do for all employees of the commission.
Mm-hmm. This is a different employee, and this is with all due respect, this is a very, very different responsibility that we as a board have. So while I understand it's policy, I mean, again, that's what I'm saying is that if we chose to just do this in public meeting without a form, we could do that under law, but I appreciate that. But again, if you read the statute, and this is also why, we have to be, a lot of times I keep getting memos about implied authority and implied this and the definition of minor. The fact is, we have to work under the statute. This is solely the responsibility of the commissioners. We have the limitation that you don't have, or the executive director doesn't have in terms of open meeting law and in terms of conversations, when reviews are being made. So I appreciate you for clarifying that it's policy versus, but I do think that this is sui generis in terms of how we have to approach it. So I think this is a good conversation. I think that based on Commissioner Benedon's, I think that we don't have to put anything consolidated. We can send it individually to the HR department. And then on the 16th, we can share that with the executive director. I mean, maybe it directly goes to him. That's what I'm just trying to figure out, is that if this is not going to be put together in a sort of like report card with, multiple opinions in one place, we can direct those individual without any sort of open meeting. Okay. Executive director, I think that solves everything.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
In the week, I would ask my fellow commissioners to work with Wendy Sanchez to send their responses, and then they send that to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to clarify, my only concern was an aggregate document going up without my responses or commentary. So happy to work within however this works, and getting them in to Wendy by Friday, if that works for the board, is great.
Chair, yes, I'd like to make a point of clarity.
Sure.
The ED is referenced to as a contract employee. He's not a contract employee. There is no contract. There was a reference to renew the contract.
Oh,
he's not a
no. Yes, yes. I think that yes, I get that. Not contract. Sorry, that's my daughter. Stop. Okay. Okay. Thank you. That was good. Thank you very much, Commissioner Benedon. Right. So the way we left it is to restate. Today, everyone has the form. There is some additional language at the bottom, which was talking about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. But in the interim, from when we initially put this form together, we now have a new piece of legislation that we don't know when that is going to be in effect. So everyone take what they received minus the language at the bottom, fill out their responses. And again, they can work with Wendy Sanchez, they can work with Debbie, but report that back to Wendy. The HR team will send that to the executive director, and then we can take this up in public on April 30th, when we will make all of these public, giving the executive director enough time to respond. Commissioner Roy?
If I could make a request that Wendy could email the form to us, because it's sitting in a board book right now, and
thank you.
And so if we could just have Wendy email us individually, or
individually with a way that we
with a form, and if it's a fillable PDF or whatever it is, that way we can just communicate if we have any questions directly with Wendy via that.
And could Paul or someone from the IT team, I think Wendy is pretty capable technically, but could you work with her to make sure that we can fill that out in a way? Thank you. All right. That was good. Thank you. And I apologize. My brother's calling me the good news. So that's good. Okay. So update on testing protocols, package number 1, and we have Director Enos. And thank you again. And I just want to point out all the hard work that has gone into this. Is a lot, and it is incredibly important. We appreciate your giving us enough time so that we can get input from persons in the industry who are directly dealing with keeping the public health and safety of the Commonwealth's residents, but also ensuring that we're reducing any inflated THC levels, which again, all 3 of these issues are very, very important to us as a commission. And again, I want to thank Armin. I want to thank you and the team, and Tim Barwise. It's been great. He just walked into the room. I don't know if do you want Tim up here, or are you good back there?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll leave that up to Ian Barwise. Happy to have him join me.
Thank you. Again, I don't know if we had a giant forum with people, and just so the public knows, we've had, because of the open meeting law, we've had 2x2s and we've been debriefed. Unfortunately for the team, when we had Commissioner Roy and me, we took the most amount of time. So we really appreciate not only giving us one, but two significantly long sessions to ask really pointed questions. And again, as you know, we ask tough questions, but you guys are always really good at answering. So again, thank you to Tim and to Armin. We really appreciate it. So again, I'll let Director Enos begin the conversation about the protocols package 1.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. And just want to give a shout out again to legal, my co-CIE testing team. Again, fantastic work all around. So thank you, everyone. Yes, so following up on the board's motion from the previous public meeting. So last Thursday, the protocol package 1 recommendations were posted to the commission's website under the enforcement action section. And additionally, a bulletin was issued that has a link to the form stack for our ITLs to provide direct feedback regarding our 14 recommendations. Per the bulletin and the posting on the website, ITLs will have until the 16th at 5 p.m. to submit their written feedback. At that time, those responses will be consolidated, kind of organized, and then obviously the testing team will be kind of looking at that to see what the ITL feedback reveals. Will that kind of lead us to our future work for package number 1? So that's kind of the next big deadline is the 16th. We're waiting for the ITL feedback as well. And then just to give a little bit of context looking forward. So package number 2 is currently being drafted and is under development. So I can get a kind of a brief overview of what that package is looking to do.
Can you just give us timeframes on this, that if it's under development? Because again, and again, I know you had a ton of work initially when I returned to the commission. You know, we were told we were going to get package 1 by December 28th, and it's taken a little bit more time. But obviously, this is not meant as a critique. Having sat through 3.5 hours or maybe 4 hours of you guys walking us through so that we understand all the work that's gone into us. I understand the additional time that it's taken. So what do you think, what is your ETA for package number 2? Because again, I'm assuming that you're working on this stuff side by side, and it's why we've divided this in half.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, the testing team has been hard at work, obviously on package 1 and package 2. Let me caveat this with, again, this is kind of a rough timeline. I'd be a little hesitant to put an exact date on package 2. One thing for the board to kind of consider with package 2, again, that is kind of where our engagement with the consultants, a lot of that will be seen in package 2. So again, package 1 is mostly, again, our staff, obviously with the input from the industry, input from the ITL, so we'll get there. But package 2, again, does kind of tie into the work with the consultants. I will defer to my colleagues in the legal department because that is currently with them right now for a legal review. So I cannot provide a timeline regarding ballpark. I would say, what I could say is the recommendations from testing side will likely be completed and submitted for review next 1 to 2 months.
2 months?
But again, that's being conservative. And again, what I also think we have to build into this is that we are getting the feedback from package 1. So once we have that feedback, obviously we'll have to incorporate into the document. There might be additional discussions we have to have with commissioners there. So obviously testing can focus on kind of one at a time.
I totally get it, but I'm just trying to sort of be, because obviously this is an important issue. Again, we did, kind of kick those down the line a little bit from December to now April. Commissioner Roy, again, this is not meant as a critique. Having sat through 4 hours, I understand how difficult this is. Mr. Roy.
Thank you, Chair. Director Enos, thank you. And thank you to the team and everyone that has played a role in this. And I was probably the cause for the multiple 2 to 3 hour meetings.
Yeah.
So I never heard it. I guess I didn't realize package 1 was formulated by staff and input of industry. I didn't realize that till just now. So in package 2 is primarily driven by the feedback from the consultants. Is that accurate?
Thank you, Commissioner Roy. I would not say it is driven by the consultants in package 2. And let me kind of go back on the comment. Again, my comment about the input from the industry and previous ITLs, again, we had those collaborative sessions with the ITLs last year.
That's right.
And through that engagement, we got a lot of feedback from them and getting, again, matters and ideas that they think we need to tackle now. So my point there was that those discussions, considerations have been happening, and some of that is going to be reflected in the recommendations in package 1. The point about the consultants' work is that the board will see recommendations in package 2 that aren't driven by the consultants, but are part of our engagement with the consultants. That is the big distinction between package 1 and package 2.
If I may, please. So package 1 was not informed by the consultants?
That is, when you say informed by the consultants.
Were any of their consultants' work baked into package 1?
At the current moment, no.
Okay, that's okay. And I never heard it described as package, but how many packages are there? 2? Like, is there 3? I don't.
So, no, thank you, Commissioner Roy. So right now, and again, this is a caveat that this is kind of, again, a thought right now, but there is definitively a package 1 that is posted right now. There is a package 2 that is under development, and there most likely will be at least a third package.
I didn't know that. That's okay.
And I did want to say, though, obviously, depending on the work that we do now, there is a likelihood that there could be more.
Sure, Roy.
So based on this timeline, what I'm hearing, it sounds like there will be opportunity for whomever the next director of testing compliance to opine on these and weigh in on this. Sounds like based on what we just went over.
Yes. Absolutely, Commissioner. Okay. Absolutely, yes. This is a phased approach in the attention, because as the board has kind of, stated during, right now and through the 2x2s, this is heavy, dense scientific information that we want to make sure is clear. So again, this piecemeal bucket approach is kind of the best way for us to compartmentalize.
Yeah. So package 1, which is public, around the requiring ITLs to follow a validated manufacturer protocols for microbial tests. So the feedback that what I personally felt, and the feedback that I'm hearing is that falls somewhat short of standardization. In other words, you'll use Model A in this scenario, Model B, everybody uses Model B in this instance, and this is just pick the model you want and just make sure you follow the instructions. So these aren't set in stone, correct? We're getting feedback. We're getting future recommendations packages, which could alter the current recommendations, perhaps, because, I also advocated for expansion of the pesticide panel, looking at action limits. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm happy to hear, these aren't set in stone. They're going to be informed by more recommendations, and they're going to be informed by feedback from the ITLs and other stakeholders, and possibly informed by a future director of testing and compliance, correct?
Yes, that is correct, Commissioner Roy. And just to add to that, package 2 will be further looking at standardized COA requirements, to your comment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for kind of going back to the beginning here, and I think it ties in with Commissioner Roy's comments. So right now, what's up there is package 1 with summaries for each and the ability for anybody. Obviously, we've asked for ITL specifically, but it's open to anybody who may have opinions on this to go in, fill in the form stack, and provide comments back between now and April 16th. So then we're going to get that information off to the board, who will have that information. Obviously, you've also reviewed, as was referenced, and you have your own opinions, but you'll also have the benefit of reviewing the feedback we get from the ITLs or anybody else in the public who wants to provide on package 1. I think one interesting note that, and I think that we can kind of make clear to the public today, is it may be that some feedback that people want to provide is not for recommendation 7. I think you should consider some other change to it. It may be, I think for package 2, you really need to focus on this, which I don't see in package 1. So that doesn't necessarily have a place within the form stack of listing out the recommendations and giving people a place to give feedback. So I think with that, certainly reaching out to commissioners, reaching out to the INE staff through the executive director to say, this is my thoughts outside of reviewing package 1, is I think also something that we can take into consideration within what you just explained. So right now, what is available is anybody can go in, look at the recommendations, provide their feedback, which we will then collate and provide to testing staff and the commissioners for review. But then also that understanding and putting in context that there are additional changes coming after package 1. For everybody who says, I don't see what my main concern was. Well, we have other changes coming. So people would have the ability to reaching out to commissioners or staff to say, this is something I'd like to see prioritized in package 2 would be just another potential way to go.
Commissioner Stebbins.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick question, and like Commissioner Roy, I was curious, as you said, other packages were coming, which I think is both good news and a lot of work still ahead. Is it your expectation, once we get feedback, bring the final protocol changes back to the commission for final adoption? So we're voting on and implementing these protocols kind of as we get them, review them, and are ready to.
Director Enos.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Stebbins. I think though, per the previous motion that staff was directed was that after the 2-week ITL period, I believe the motion dictated staff to get the feedback and then update commissioners about the ITL feedback, I think before any potential changes were made. So my understanding was after that 2-week period on the 16th, once we had everything consolidated, my understanding was that we would then be potentially setting up additional 2x2s, but that was specifically with the objective of updating the board about what the ITL feedback is. I think we kind of go from there with any proposed changes or recommendations. That was my understanding of the motion from last public meeting, Commissioner Roy.
Commissioner Stebbins, follow.
And I agree with that. Just wondering, can we vote and implement these protocols after they've gone through the vetting process, after they've gone through the comment process? Like, we're not waiting for 2 and 3 to come along. We can fully implement 1.
Yes, Commissioner Stebbins, absolutely, yes. Yes, the intention of this is, obviously once we get the input and, update the board, once we present package 1 to the board, package 1 is ready kind of now. So yes, the intention will be then package 2 again is currently being worked on as well. But yes, it's not, but what I will say is these build upon each other, which will kind of come to light as the further packages are kind of, outlined and provided. But one thing I can say that is part of the approach we have taken now, where the recommendations in phase 1, assuming the board does vote to, move forward with those, it builds upon then the recommendations in 2 that further builds upon 3. So it's a layering approach we have where everything is going to be.
Commissioner Roy, then Commissioner Bennett.
I would recuse myself from voting on package 1 without seeing all the packages, because to your point, it's like building a house, they're building on one another, right? And so package 3 might inform package 1 based on feedback. So don't we need to see the entirety of all the work? Was they could impact one another. They're not in silos, there's overlap. And so myself, I need to see the entire recipe, all the ingredients going into it before I would vote on it, because why couldn't, I guess I don't understand why they're coming out in tranches. Why wouldn't we wait till they were all ready, the cake was baked, and then it comes out? Because I don't want to vote and lock something in, which would be hard to undo, unless I see the entire package. That's just my own feeling. I mean, people could disagree with it.
Commissioner Bennett?
And along those same lines, I guess I am trying to understand, given that these 2 packages, at least package 1 and package 2, were kind of informed by different people, different experts, different processes. Is there overlap in subject matter? So I had initially thought package 1 addressed these topics, and then package 2 would address a different set of protocols and a different set of topics, but it sounds like that's not the case. Perhaps you can clarify that.
Director Nino, sir.
Sure. Thank you, Commissioner Benedon. Yeah, Commissioner Benedon, there is the overlap. So again, package one was again kind of proposing a standardized approach into microbiological analysis, expansion regarding retesting, recalls, reporting practices, and admin order number 4. So package 2 builds upon the microbial analysis. One thing that did come to light with our ITL collab sessions, again, microbiology, it's a vast topic, and there are several different components that could impact our industry. So the idea, these are overarching themes that are being addressed in several packages, but we just had to break it up into smaller buckets to kind of focus on certain aspects. Again, if we're talking about action limits, if we're talking about species specific, again, pesticides addition, that's an example where we'd have to have collaboration and digital talks with MDAR. That's something that we would have to confer with other agencies for those changes. So again, package 2, it's building upon package 1. Now, there are novel things that package 2 will look at with potentially vitamin E acetate, removing some of that, looking at residual solvents, expanded guidance, again, the COA standardized requirements to Commissioner Roy's point. Again, it's so I know it's challenging to kind of see and understand without having it before you, because right now it's just package 1. So I understand the board's kind of comments there. Tim, I'm just yes.
I fully appreciate why it needs to come out in buckets to the way you explained it, because it's so massive. And I can understand that. What I struggle with is voting on a slice of the pie without seeing the whole pie. That's I'm coming out in packages. It's just where I'm struggling is voting on slice 1 of the pie when I haven't seen all the other slices, which building upon. So that's the part that I would like asking the board to vote before we have been fully informed on the entire picture with all the feedback baked in. And that's the only part that I was struggling with. The rest I'm not.
And one of the other questions that I have is, and Commissioner usually raises scope, because I have gotten some feedback that perhaps there are some things that right now. See, one of the things I feel that the commission has failed to do, whether it's tier relegation or all of these things that we had the ability to do, going after testing fraud, we may have to pick winners and losers, right? We may say there needs to be one type of testing standard or one kit or what, you know what I mean? Those are things that I'm hoping that we can almost do, maybe even without a full-blown regulatory package, because what I'm hearing, if it's going to be another 2 months for the next, I'm saying this is a 1.5 year process to get through 4. Is that, am I wrong that this could take a 1.5 years and we have what we think is a significant testing fraud issue? I mean, this is not meant as a critique. It's trying to understand how many bites have you made? And this is not, again, questioning your decision making, but what are the most time sensitive and critical? And this may also be a question that we ask to people in the industry is, are there other more time sensitive things? You may make a determination. This is in package 1, this is in package 2, this is 3, 4. I hear a 1.5 years, maybe before this all gets done from now. And again, we thought we were going to get a full package in December. Again, this is not meant to be as a criticism. It's just trying to understand, we as commissioners, what we have to do. But I may want to put that all points bulletin out there, that if there are, in terms of making sure this is in scope, can we make some additions that may have more time sensitive responses to what we recognize as a significant problem? When I, once again, have a meeting with someone literally near tears, talking to me about, they think their family owned business is going to go out of business in 3 months if we don't do something quickly. So I haven't even asked a question, but I'm sort of, in terms of the time frame, in terms of what Commissioner Roy has raised, what do we as commissioners, what can we do in terms of maybe changing or adding to the scope here in package one to make sure it's addressing the most critical issues, and that maybe in additional tranches, that we know what that is, because I don't know what 2, 3, and 4 is going to be. So I don't know if there's a question in there, but I'm sure you'll find one.
Yeah, no, thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I think, again, once we get the feedback from the ITLs on the 16th, I think to the executive director's point, I think that'll again give us shine some more light on what they are hoping to see. And again, I think the ED was right on where they might say, well, what about this, that? In our minds, again, we might have an idea on the testing side of which bucket that's going to go into. But to your point and the other commissioner's point, I think when we then kind of reconvene with the board following receipt of that feedback, I think that's part of the discussion we can have as well then, where if there's some feedback or items that might not are directly spoken to in package one, we can certainly bring that up for discussion. Absolutely, too.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did want to speak a little bit to how these recommendations before you today might interact with future ones. The reason why these are all being presented to you is that they, to the extent that they interact with other future recommendations, it's just that I think the testing system itself is pretty complex and interdependent, and these recommendations will essentially serve to either resolve issues we've seen and detected in the system, some of which may contribute to what we would call testing fraud, that like licensees might look for exploits in the system, and others are kind of scaffolding for future improvements. And I don't really envision any future recommendations to materially change the nature of these recommendations or how they would function. They're more like basic expectations that are being added into the protocol to clarify where there might have been ambiguity. In the case of pesticides, this is a limited correction, obviously with the intention in the future to expand the capacity of the testing scheme to detect pesticide contamination. But right now we have a conflict with MDR's jurisdiction over application of pesticides that we're seeking to resolve.
And this conflict was not addressed in the bill that was agreed to in conference. That conflict remains. Yes, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm not getting into the details too much, but on that matter specifically, that we have currently in our protocol 2 elements around pesticide testing that are problematic. One of them is that there's an explicit statement that if a pesticide is detected at 10 or below 10 parts per billion, we determine the product is compliant for sale. That's in conflict with MDR's jurisdiction, where they determine that something is or is not, affected by illegal pesticide application. And so right now we're seeking to correct that so that we follow the proper referral course to have them be brought in and work with them on resolving the issue, and as well also eliminating the EPA standards in there that are irrelevant now. But really, generally, everything else here are things that are basic changes that future recommendations probably wouldn't really impact very much. And some of them, like we've talked about in our 2x2s, are incorporating decisions already made by the board in administrative orders. So I just wanted to add that in there for clarity.
Thank you. Commissioner Roy.
And there's other moving parts too. So we're creatively engaging and exploring ways to stand up a standards lab, which would be a game changer if we were able to do that. If a standards lab could help us create standards, actual standards, where everybody tested in scenario A, they use maybe molecular testing. In scenario B, everybody uses culture-based methods. And so that's something in the background, the executive director, he's has full attention.
I'm back. There's been a launch. It's at the south. It's at the south. There has been a launch at the south. I'm back. I'm back. We're stopping soon. This is the morning briefing with Towel. I'm back. Oh, I had to go get my supplies. How's everybody doing? I got my lunch. I don't have to leave again for the rest of the day. This is only the morning stream. You have me for all right, we're going to do a migration, okay? We're going to do a migration. All right? So in 30 minutes, once I have my energy drink and get settled, we're going to switch to the other stream. It's on the same channel. This was just supposed to be a morning coverage thing. Then I went to get lunch. I know, I'm here. I'm here. So our plan is thus. No, don't worry, Lucky Eel. You're wonderful. You stay and you say whatever you like. I'm here. I'm just eating. I had to get my lunch. I don't have my rental car, so it was a bit of a production, but I got it done. I know. There are alerts in the southern Negev. All right, we're gonna take this alert. I know there are alerts in the southern Negev. I'm here. I know you were all watching the regulatory meetings. I left your cams up. Oh, there's the rocket. Oh my goodness. I see the rocket. What? Oh my word, I see the rocket. Look on cam 10 right now. I saw the rocket. Right here. Watch on cam 10. This is right now. Watch the rocket. Look in the top left of cam 10. It's right there. Oh, look at that thing. Look at it. It's huge. It's turning in the air. It's on 3 now. Then it's on 12. Oh, wow. What did they launch? Oh, that thing's very dangerous. Get in your shelters. Dude, that thing's huge. It was lighting up the night sky. Oh, goodness. We just had a launch from Iran. There was no launches while we were watching the meeting. I want Lucky to be your running mate. Okay, Lucky Eel, do you want to run for president with me? Lucky Eel, would you like to be vice president of the United States of America? Lucky, I feel like you and I could run a great campaign. We don't have to go out, bruh. We can just hang out. We can run it from our houses. But can you be vice president? I think you could, Lucky Eel. If I were Lucky Eel, if your main job is to wake up in the morning, Lucky Eel, and ask if the president is okay, can you do that? You got to go to some summit. I might send you to Turkey or Syria or Saudi Arabia, various countries. You might have to go to diplomatic summits. But can you wake up in the morning and say, is the president okay? If you can do that, you can be vice president. All right, you just got to be ready. No, Lucky Eel's going to be great. He's going to do a great job. He'll very begrudgingly meet with the Turkish president. Imagine Recep Erdogan and Lucky Eel having a meeting. Lucky Eel would be I just really don't like most people. And Erdogan would be I don't like most people either. Got manners, you'll canvas for us? That's great. We're going to run this whole thing from my YouTube channel. I'm going to become president and bring peace to the world and eat chicken sandwiches. I'm going to have a great first lady. I got it all planned out. Oh, Mimi votes for me for vice president. Me for president and Lucky for vice president. We got a vote already. Listen, that's one vote down. We just need a few more million. All right, Lucky Eel, we're doing this. How can I block people? Lucky Eel, so here there's 2 different levels of blocking. The first way, or 3 levels. The first way is to escalate it to me. You just tell me what they're doing and then I review what they're up to. The second way is there's actually a block button. That just makes it so you don't see their comments. We use that when it's like not a rule violation, when they're just like being ornery. Just click on their name and click block. You won't see them anymore. There's another level. I have to promote you, which, I mean, if you're my vice presidential candidate, I can totally promote you. There's another level where I can give you permission to time them out. I was eating my lunch, or like getting it, so I didn't actually see what was going on. I think we're just going to do a chat reset for now, all right? And then we're going to start a new stream in like half an hour anyway. This was only supposed to be a morning stream. And then like 7 attacks happened, then there was crazy stuff going on at the CCC. And then they like passed a law to like change the CCC. It was at the legislature. It's just been a lot. Thank you, Candy Lion. I think what I'm going to declare is a chat reset. So, as the Speaker of this honorable house, okay, Nightbot's going to give you a command. All right, ready? Let's follow the instructions of Nightbot to the letter. Okay. The Speaker has called for a chat reset. You are thus commanded to present to this honorable house your best emojis, including but not limited to sheep, goat, cat, dog, and other related animal emojis. Okay. So your job is to post emojis. Okay. Now, this is called a chat reset. First of all, this stream is ending. I don't even know why we're still here. It's ending at like 2:15 or 2:30. Then we're starting the next one right after. I'm going to play the Iranian song as an intro. Now, when you post your animal emojis, you can post them whether you're a member or not. You can go into your like just emoji settings. You can post them. If you're a Towel Channel member, did you know you have the ability to send all sorts of emojis? You can send the goat emoji. You can send the sheep emoji. If you're Towel Chat, hello Tizzle. If you're Towel Chat Mom Lynn, you can send the penguin emoji. If you're Towel Chat Mom Bunny, you can send the Kofi the dog emoji. That's actually Bunny's dog. If you're Primo, you can send the Primo dog emoji. If you're a big fan of Chloe the dog, who's exonerated because we now know that it was the Mystery Man, you can send Chloe the dog in a wig. Did you know she has a wig? All right, she has like 7 wigs, all right? Now, maybe you like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, okay? He is red and giant and fluffy. Okay, maybe you like Peep Bunny Towel. Francine loves Peep Bunny Towel. Okay, you can post Peep Bunny Towel. Maybe you like me. Okay, you can post lots of towels if you like me, you know? All right, that's how we do a chat reset. Good job, everyone. Everybody did a good job. I'm proud of you all. That's a chat reset. Oh, Kofi is adorable. Hi, Tizzle. Hello, Mimi. Oh, Nikki with the adorable penguin. That's a nice penguin. So a chat reset is just when like we kind of post emojis. When I don't really know what's going on in the chat. We just post a lot of emojis. It's like a tradition on the channel. Hello, Candyline. Hello, Honest Rick. God bless you. We're here all day, by the way, but this stream is going to change over in like 30 minutes. I'll get you a damage impact, but this is not actually the coverage for today. This was supposed to be like a morning stream where I covered the CCC. All right. I'm very hungry. Do you mind if I eat my sandwich? Iran has told Pakistan, this is the latest, that it believes it is winning. It has retained 15,000 missiles and 45,000 drones in its arsenal. 15,000. I knew it. Bro, I pegged him a little more than that. I think that number's low. Hezbollah has more than that. Well, I didn't mean to get lettuce and chicken in my sandwich, but it's good. And what is that? There's rice in there. There's some sauce. I asked them to make me my sandwich, but they left vegetables in there. It's okay. I'll try them. It's not bad. I don't eat a lot of vegetables or lettuce. Pete Bunny Towel loves lettuce, but I don't love lettuce. I'll give it to him. Like, it's really hard for me to eat vegetables because growing up I used to be forced to eat them. My name is Grant Smith Ellis, by the way. There is a missile that was just fired at the south. I have it. I have it. I have the missile that was just fired at the south now. No, we won't go back to the meeting. I really wanted to listen to what was going on. I'm going to have to do that when I sleep. I'm going to have to do it before bed. It's so frustrating. I never used to understand why my colleagues couldn't, like, cover the CCC. I was like, bro, just watch the whole thing. And they were like, Grant, I can't watch 9 hours of the CCC, dude. I can't. And I was like, what do you mean you can't, bro? Like, just do it. Like, isn't that what you work on? They were like, Grant, I have other stuff. I have to cover, like, 7 stories. And I was like, oh. And now I get it. Like, I can't. I love the CCC, but I, like, weighing it, like, people were, like, a lot of my dear friends gave me, like, good feedback. Bro, I can't cover 9 hours of the CCC while there are bombs falling on countries in the Middle East. I can't. All right, here's the latest from the Negev. I mean, I want to, like, I feel ethically obligated because the story's so important, but, like, I'm sorry. You're going to have to watch the Microsoft Teams if you want it live, or read Danny Carson or Ferrone. They all do really good work. Or Dr. Jeff Rossen. Or Dr. Julie Johnson. You can really read any of them. They provide good updates. But my point is, this is the latest from the Negev. I'll give you the full screen. I'm eating a sandwich. Unhurried. Oh, good job, Unhurried. You're doing a good job. You're speaking more generally now. I still think we're talking about, like, I know you love aliens, but, like, bro, I don't think the aliens are firing the missiles. I mean this in a loving way. I really do. Like, it's not the aliens, dude. It's the Iranians. All right? Like, the aliens are not causing those missiles to fall. I think the aliens are watching us. But I'm just telling you, the aliens are not doing that. It's the Iranians. The Iranians are not aliens. They're just very smart, like, very, like, defensive people about, like, their territory. And they have a lot of missiles. Here's the latest from the Negev. I would hang out with the Iranians. After the war. I feel like they're cool. Yeah, it sounds fun to hang out with the Iranians. Bro, they love dancing. Dude, I would dance with the Iranians. Dude, if you can't dance with the Iranians, you have no soul. Dude, they are so good at dancing. Their music is amazing. Like, I'm sorry, the Iranian culture is older than the American culture. They have the best music. Like, we're not talking politics here. Like, music is so different. Like, it can be political. But, like, music is just, like, do you have a sense of resonant frequency? And I'm telling you, the Iranian musicians are so much better than our musicians. Dude, I've been listening to a lot of Iranian music the last day. They're amazing. They're actually incredible. They're so good that I'm intimidated by how good they are at music. I want to go hang out with their musicians. And this is that footage I just showed you of the Iranian rocket from the Negev. It's quite a missile, bro. That missile's going to do some damage. Oh, he's made. So I think that's the separation. So that's probably the fuel storage tank. And then that's the actual warhead. So you see how the fuel storage goes over there and the warhead keeps going. Fuel storage tank. It's a dual stage missile. So that's the, like, liquid or solid fuel, and then that's the actual missile head. I'm here, Job for 9. Job for 9, I'm here. You just might not be live. I saw that, Pete. All the Iranian civilians being used as human shields. It's common during war. It's unfortunately common. It's horrifying as much as it is common. Here's the latest from the Negev. Latest from the Negev. No volume. It definitely hit. There was no intercept. It's because their interceptors aren't designed to deal with hypersonic ballistic missiles. Yeah, they hit the Negev. Oh, goodness. Oh! Oh, no. Thank you again. Don't forget we had Tupac. Oh, that's right. That's right. So, that's right. That's true. I do love Tupac and Bob Dylan. Tupac and Bob Dylan, some of the best. Bye, Unhurried Journey. See you later. Alright, my name is Grant Smith Ellis. I'm going to show you the actual impact in the Negev. I don't know exactly where it hit, but I have the impact. Mind you, the stream is only going until like 2:15, and then we're switching to the other one. I'll give you the link when it's time to switch. You don't have to do anything. You just have to click over to the other chat. Here's the impact in the Negev. It happened just now. This was just now in the Negev, less than 5 minutes ago. I saw this missile come in. Unhurried Journey, stop it. Job for 9, yes. Jump live. I did job for 9. No. Who is... What's going on here? Journey's gone. We're back, job for 9. I'm back. Can someone just let job for 9 know he's just not live? This is the hit in the Negev now. Very powerful explosion in the Negev. I have another angle of it now. Oh, God bless you, job for 9. You are so kind. I'm so glad that you're with us, my dear friend. I'm so sorry I wasn't conveying clearly that you had just fell behind on the stream, but you're here. I'm here. Here's the latest from the Negev. This is in southern Israel.
Yo, Yo, oh my god. Yo, Yo, oh my god. Yo, Yo, oh my god. Yo, Yo, oh my god.
This is bad.
Yo, Yo, oh my god.
Oh! God bless you to the person who sent a lunch donation. Was that job for 9? You are wonderful. Oh, God bless you. That actually helped me so much today. You just paid for my lunch. I am so grateful. I am so grateful to you. Oh, look at it. That is a big impact. It's unclear where this hit. And this just came in 2 minutes ago. It's very south of the Negev. It's in the Negev, near Beersheba.
Yo, oh my god. Yo, Yo, oh my god. Yo, Yo, oh my god. Yo, Yo, oh my god.
All right, a senior Iranian official said that there was no pilot down to his fake. Oh, God bless you. Oh, you are so wonderful to Little Towel. God bless you, job for 9. God bless you, job for 9. Just want to say thank you for all of your support and for being you, and also for asking earlier about how to get live. You are live. I'm giving you the updates, and you paid for my lunch. I'm so grateful, but I just want to let you know I'm grateful because you are you, and every time I see you, you make me smile. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'll show you the latest from the Negev, and then I'll show you the latest from the Iranians. This is the Negev. Oh, this was the same missile, but from ground level. Yeah, it was an Israeli journalist who leaked. An Israeli journalist leaked. I found the initial report. It was an Israeli journalist. It wasn't an American journalist. People were blaming Fox, which was partially true, but it was also an Israeli journalist. It was not just Fox. Not Fox. I forget, it was like New York Times or something. People were blaming an American reporter, but it wasn't. It wasn't an American reporter. It was an Israeli reporter that broke the second thing that was even more damaging, and it was I think it was like a Washington area. I want to say maybe the Post, maybe New York Times. One of them broke the first one. So it was two different reporters. One of them was Israeli, like from actually Israel. The other one was American. Here's the latest from the Iranians about whether they think the rescue of the pilot was real. The leaker can get charged. They can go to jail. It's like 20 years in prison.
ارتش امنیتی ساعتی پیش اطلاعات مهمی از عملیات شکست‌خورده آمریکا در اصفهان رو در اختیار شبکه پرس تیوی گذاشت. این اطلاعات و شواهد فراوان به دست آمده در خصوص عملیات اخیر دشمن آمریکایی صهیونی در اصفهان از یک شکست سنگین راهبردی آمریکا پرده برداشته. تهدیدهای دیوانه‌وار ترامپ در ساعات اخیر به دلیل شکست بسیار سنگین او در عملیات اخیر در اصفهان است. بر اساس این اطلاعات، عملیات شکست خورده اصفهان پس از عملیات‌های پرحجم شناسایی هوایی روزهای قبل دشمن انجام شد. در عملیات‌های نفوذ و شناسایی روزهای قبل از عملیات اصفهان، آمریکا و احتمالاً رژیم صهیونی تعداد زیادی از هواگردهای خود را از دست دادند، از جمله حداقل یک هواپیمای A-10 و 2 فروند بالگرد بلک هاک. ساعت صفر عملیات شکست خورده اصفهان در جلسه‌ای محرمانه در کاخ سفید زیر نظر شخص رئیس جمهور آمریکا تعیین شد. اکنون مشخص شده است این عملیات هیچ ارتباطی با عملیات ادعایی نجات خلبان جنگنده ساقط شده نداشته است. محل فرود هواپیماهای C-130 در نتیجه شناسایی‌های قبلی فرودگاهی متروکه در فاصله نزدیک به یکی از تأسیسات هسته‌ای اصفهان انتخاب شد. شواهد نشان می‌دهد در این عملیات ویژه قرار بود یکی از تأسیسات هسته‌ای در اصفهان مورد نفوذ و تعرض قرار گیرد. محاسبات غلط آمریکایی‌ها مبنی بر عدم توانایی دفاع هوایی ایران در مقابله با هواگردهای این عملیات بود. برخی قرائن نشان می‌دهد ژنرال‌های برکنار شده ارتش آمریکا درباره ریسک‌های سنگین چنین عملیاتی هشدارهای جدی به وزیر جنگ داده بودند، اما به دلیل ضعف دانش نظامی هگست و اصرار ترامپ بر انجام این عملیات، ژنرال‌های ارتش تنها چند روز قبل از عملیات اصفهان از کار برکنار شدند. ارسال هواگردهای متعدد برای انجام این عملیات در حالی بود که نیروهای مسلح ایران در هوشیاری کامل منتظر رسیدن آنها بودند. در واقع نیروهای ویژه آمریکایی در تله نیروهای مسلح ایران افتادند. نیروهای مسلح ایران شامل نیروهای ارتش، فراجا و سپاه و نیروهای مردمی محلی ابتدا در برابر فرود هواپیمای C-130 اول که حامل 10 نیروی ویژه کماندو بود واکنش جدی نشان ندادند. شواهد نشان می‌دهد این هواپیما هنگام فرود در فرودگاه خاکی متروکه که تا حدی از باند فرودگاه منحرف هم شد. دقایقی بعد هواپیمای دوم C-130 حامل تجهیزات لازم از جمله خودروهای ویژه و چند فروند بالگرد MH6 لیتل برد و سایر تجهیزات لازم برای پشتیبانی عملیات به فرودگاه متروکه نزدیک شد. در این لحظه نیروهای مسلح آماده مستقر در صحنه هواپیمای دوم را قبل از فرود مورد هدف قرار دادند و فرود عادی این هواپیما به فرود اضطراری تبدیل شد. همچنین 2 فروند بالگرد بلک هاک هم پس از فرود هواپیمای دوم C-130 در محل حاضر شدند. در این لحظه بود که هواپیماها، بالگردها و کماندوهای پیاده شده از هواپیمای اول به بهترین سیبل برای نیروهای مسلح ایران تبدیل شدند. پس از اینکه نیروهای ویژه متوجه شدند در تله نیروهای ایرانی افتادند، در همان لحظه با تصمیم اتاق وضعیت کاخ سفید عملیات اصلی نفوذ به سایت هسته‌ای به عملیات نجات 10 نیروی کماندوی آمریکایی زیر آتش ایران تغییر یافت. آمریکایی‌ها فوراً چند فروند هواپیمای کوچکتر دیگر را برای خارج کردن و نجات کماندوهای خود به منطقه فرستادند و به سختی توانستند این افراد را جمع‌آوری و از مهلکه خارج کنند. این عملیات نجات که در نتیجه گرفتار شدن نیروهای عمل کننده در دام نیروهای ایرانی انجام شد، به قدری با عجله و شتاب صورت گرفت که برخی سربازان و افسران وسایل همراه خود را در منطقه رها کردند تا جان خود را نجات دهند و از مهلکه بگریزند. از جمله این شواهد مدارک شناسایی یکی از افسران آمریکایی است که در منطقه رها شده است. پس از جمع‌آوری کماندوهای آمریکایی و ترک منطقه توسط هواپیماهای نجات، جنگنده‌های آمریکایی اقدام به ایجاد خط آتشی به شعاع 5 کیلومتر کردند تا از نزدیک شدن نیروهای ایرانی به محل فرود هواپیماهای C-130 رها شده در فرودگاه متروکه جلوگیری بکنند. همچنین این جنگنده ها اقدام به بمباران سنگین و پرحجم تجهیزات خود کردند تا به دست نیروهای مسلح ایران نیفتند. در این عملیات شکست خورده نیروهای ویژه آمریکا حتی فرصت به پرواز درآوردن بالگردهای ویژه لیتل برد هم پیدا نشد و برخی از آنها روی زمین و برخی دیگر حتی داخل هواپیمای C-130 دوم نابود شدند. پس از این شکست مفتضحانه و سنگین، شخص ترامپ عجولانه و با آشفتگی اقدام به برگزاری کنفرانس‌های مطبوعاتی متعدد کرده تا بر این شکست سرپوش گذاشته و آن را به عنوان عملیات نجات خلبان جا بزند. شوهای تبلیغاتی ترامپ شکست خورده و وزیر جنگ بیسواد وی که با شیوه‌ای مانند فیلم‌های هالیوودی در حال دروغ بافی درباره این عملیات شکست خورده هستند، حتی مورد پذیرش بسیاری از مخاطبان آمریکایی هم قرار نگرفته است. پیش بینی می شود ترامپ همچنان برای دستاوردسازی دروغین برای اقناع افکار عمومی عملیات‌های هالیوودی دیگری را ساخته و پرداخته نماید. اما داستان سرایی و دروغ بافی مکرر او و وزیر جنگش که اعتماد افکار عمومی آمریکا و جهان به وی را به پایین‌ترین حد ممکن تنزل داده، باعث شده دروغ‌های گوبلزی او به سختی باور شود. افکار عمومی آمریکا و جهان سوال می‌کنند چطور کشوری که نه پدافندی برایش باقی مانده، نه ارتش و نیروهای مسلحی توانسته این تعداد جنگنده و هواگردهای متنوع رو ساقط و منهدم نماید و همچنان در حال تکمیل آلبوم انواع مختلف این جنگنده ها و هواپیماها و بالگردها و پهپادهای منهدم شده است. شکست سنگین عملیات اصفهان میتواند به عنوان بدترین و مفتضح‌ترین ناکامی ارتش آمریکا، حتی بدتر از عملیات شکست خورده تبس در سال 1359 در تاریخ ثبت شود. انتظار می رود پس لرزه های سنگین این افتضاح بزرگ ترامپ نه تنها بر روی سرنوشت جنگ که بر آینده سیاسی رئیس جمهور قمارباز و نادان آمریکا و حزب وی و صحنه سیاسی آمریکا تا سالها تأثیر بگذارد.
Latest from Iran. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. This stream is, we're switching to the other stream at 2:30, right? All right. So we're switching to the other stream at 2:30. Everyone ready? All right. We're going to be able to do this. Let me get you the link for the other stream. Hold on. We're going to be able to do this. All right. This is what you do. Let me actually show you, all right? I'm going to get you the link for the other stream. All right. So here's where we're going. Everyone ready for this? We're going to do this together. This is called a migration, a chat migration. Everybody ready? You all, I got to help you all get to where you got to go. Are we at 9,000 subscribers? We might hit 9,000 subscribers today. We're at 8.83. All right. Everyone ready? I'm going to give you the link. This is where you want to go. You want to go to this other chat. All right. This is the one that we're about to start. Okay. So, chat, new stream. Okay, so if you all want to help each other, all right, new stream, follow the link in the comments. Do you see where it says in the comments? Do you see where it says new stream? All right, so you want to go over there. Good job, job for 9. You made it, my dear friend. Good job. Everyone's doing a great job. All right, so see how job for 9's over there? You see how you have to go to a different chat. Okay, it's a completely different chat. You got to follow the link. Don't worry, you won't miss me. I can go live at the same time. All right, we're going to do a transition. There's going to be an intro for that, just like there was an intro for this. So I'm just giving you like a minute or two. Everyone head over there. All right, everybody do a good job. Hello, water under the fridge. You made it. Dee Dee Tames made it. Everyone's doing a really good job. Good job. I'm proud of you all. Now, it doesn't start right away, okay? Like, I'll end one stream, then I'm going to start up the other one, all right? So just follow that link to part 37. Okay, once you're over there, once you're in the chat with Dee Dee Thames and all those fun towel friends, you're there. Good job, everybody's making it. Okay, so we're all transitioning over for our war coverage for the day. You'll know you'll have made it when you see Francine and Dee Dee Thames and and Marcia and all your towel friends, okay? So I will see you all over there. God bless you. Thanks for watching this morning coverage. God bless each and every one of you. God bless you, JRP and others. Just follow this new link, okay? Follow this link, okay? Follow the link in the chat. That's going to bring you to the new stream. This stream's going to end, okay? We're not done for the day. We're just switching over. You can only do 12 hours at a time. All right, so we're switching over. Everyone ready? I got manners. All right, so you guys are still in the other chat. You got to go to the other one. I'm going to end this one now. It's going to start again with the Iranian song in like 20 seconds. All right, see you all over on the other stream. God bless you all. God bless the United States of America. And God bless South Africa. Okay, now we're going to the other stream. We're not actually live.